And we were really good at it.
And
particularly I was good at it.
Flash had a commanding presence in the market square, which was wonderful.
Could not take their eyes off of me.
Much like a wonderful shipwreck in slow motion. People could not take their eyes off of it. And then meanwhile, Frunk was in the background just quietly strumming, laying bare his soul, and then was contacted by an associate. Yeah, Paris.
Harry.
Let's watch the real
I think it was Piro.
It was Piro.
Also, I was handing out flyers during this and apparently paying attention to the names.
Yes,
so.
it was just great. You went to the mysterious Night Song Tavern, which was actually a place that's off the map. It's where serious chord strikers go, and people called brokers, actually. People who have maybe like a divine connection or understanding of the Nine's will. It seems like jobs come to them that are ones that the great bards actually want people to undertake. So they sort of manage your career initially as a chord striker. So that's Vala was like, okay, I want you to go to Gelt, which is the big city along the coast. There's a job, there's a young scion of a house that needs your help, and I will meet you on the Street of Valor at the ninth layer. Yes, the ninth E layer. Which is like this big strip of like taverns where a bunch of people go. And so now you're traveling down the coast. You'd actually alighted in Bourges at the early evening. This is the place where there's Vandian longships outside doing trading. As you walked by, you saw a quick dispute turned bloody suddenly and quickly. Dietrich, this is business as usual for you. Mm-hmm. And then you walked in. There's a place called the Halfway House, which a lot of people actually know. It's a safer refuge for people making their way down the high road to the other free cities. So with that in mind, let me read you a little introduction to warm things up, and we'll get going. So, the Halfway House is a noisome, jostling affair. The air is filled with the smell of cooked meat, sweat, and a driving drumbeat from the room's trio of musicians. As befitting its name, many half-orcs are to be seen among the patrons, along with an alarming... The Patreons.
Join our Patreon, everyone.
Right, that actually worked too. Along with an alarming half-ogre nearly too large for the place. But there are also many humans in various states of dishevelment, and a few other races besides. Across the room, a large wooden wheel spins while contestants try to throw hand axes into the chunks of meat affixed to it. 2 half-orcs are currently dominating the affair. As often as not, an errant axe is buried into a wall or another patron, rather than the wheel, but the crowd doesn't really seem to care. Directly across from you, a bedraggled human in his 50s tends the bar, which is somewhat unexpected in a place like this. 3 Vandians also sit at a table against one wall, laughing loudly and playing cards, while an exotic elf accosts them, clearly upset about something, although none at the table appear violently concerned at the moment. The interior appears quite sturdy and blessedly so, given the boisterous nature of its patrons. What do you do? Actually, I want to know first, who goes in through the door first? Because it really is a single file.
It's always
I'll go!
It's always J-Flash.
What was that? Like, we were just wandering around.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was loud noises.
Mm-hmm.
And we just we needed a bar?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be evening, and you don't really want to be caught on the road if you don't have to.
We need an inn, and this is an inn.
Yeah.
It's allowed in, guys. Let's go.
We are allowed in.
Yeah. You are allowed in for now.
Nice. Well done. Yeah, I'll go in first.
Yeah, of course you will.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I will announce our presence.
Yeah, I know. So when you come in, like, first off, of the people that actually take note of the door, you're still in your outrider tabard, I would assume.
I totally am.
Right?
Yes.
You're still in their employ.
I am the law.
And a little bit like,
right.
Gelt, kill these. You hear like some people sort of disaffected.
Yes. Thank you.
Right.
You're doing great.
Yeah, and you see the bartender from across the way. Oh, nothing to see here. No,
we're here for the evening.
Okay.
It's good.
Well, then you are allowed in, as they say. All right, welcome, friends. They let you
I don't get it.
All right.
Is it okay?
Yeah, you can totally come in.
Is he condescending us?
No.
Yeah.
This guy is look capable of condescending you.
All right, then.
Sorry, you come in. Like, it's not like the bar immediately turns silent or hostile. It's just your presence is noted because as an outrider, Guild reserves the right to patrol the entirety of the southern coast.
I am a cop.
You basically, you're like a Guildie's cop.
I'm a big half-orc, so I just come in behind and kind of muss your hair to put them all at ease.
He's got a half-orc with him.
I've still got my Vandian colors on, right? Like,
oh yes. You're an exotic.
So I would put my arm around the law here and say, don't worry, fellow Reavers, he's one of us for now.
All right. Yes.
I'd walk in and try to talk, and nobody can hear me.
Speaking of which, first, how tall are you?
5'5".
Okay, 5'5".
5'5". I'm 5'5".
Right, with a nice
You're stretching.
5'4".
Right. With a
Once
pair
again,
of-
next level, I can be very tall.
Yeah, good. You will indeed. All right, so as you pile in and you see all of these things, what would catch your eye? What do you think you want to do?
I think we should eat.
I'll take care of that, and I throw my hand axe at the wheel from wherever I'm standing. In the
All right.
That's the question.
That's a bold move.
Okay.
All right, so what I was going to do is actually make this a challenge rather than an AC because it's more of a. So the thing is, you can do strength at disadvantage because you're basically using your power to strike, or you can use Dex at regular to do it, but there's a small chance because you're trying to finesse it in, right?
Right.
So, but if you get strength and you're proficient, that should probably net out the same thing, and it is a DC 10.
I'll go Dex.
All right, you do Dex.
This
And I
seems
assume-
extreme.
With my hand
Well, it is a
axe.
challenge. It's free meat.
Well, with my hand axe, do I add proficiency? Since I'm trained?
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Why not?
Nope.
What did you get?
That's a 6.
All right. That's a 6.
That's okay.
Well, fortunately, the axe makes it through the crowd okay.
Right.
But it doesn't quite hit the wheel. It does, however, bury itself directly next to one of the two half-orcs I was describing earlier. It's like, what the fuck? And he kind of spins around and just glares at you.
I call next. On my ship, that's how we call next.
Far. He tears the axe out, throws it down on the floor, and looks at you and spits. And then his brother looks at you and goes, and also spits.
They have a lot of phlegm. Stay back.
This might be how they speak and say hello. Be friendly.
Be friendly. So they're kind of staring at you. The crowd over there.
I feel like we were being angled towards a bar fight.
I'll get the drinks.
I'm going to join the orc.
Well, actually, too, because you make such a spectacular entryway or entrance, you do actually notice that the three Vandians with the elf that was doing anime, you actually know the Vandians, in fact.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's Captain Etla of one of the longships that you'd actually sailed with, and two of her crewmen, Tak and Berm. And Captain Etla actually sees you throw the axe and starts laughing. She's got her own thing going on with the table and the elf, but just she lights in your eyes and goes, "Skos, Dietrich! Drink with me!"
Hey! I just saw you do it again. You just took that card out of your sleeve.
I did nothing. I've
Yes,
got nothing
no,
but
you
strong arms and muscle.
Look, your arms are beautiful. Your arms are beautiful, but there is also, I could just see it when you flex. There are like 4 cards up your sleeve.
Do I have the cards on me, Ben?
We should check. It sounds like there's some things going on over here.
I think
As the law.
if the good captain wants to keep some cards up her sleeves, that's her right as captain.
As captain, I have the right to do this. Who are your friends,
You
Dietrich?
don't have the right to cheat at cards. She doesn't have the right to
fancy
cheat
elf
at cards.
friend.
Not
I
with
agree
my,
with
not at my
whoever's winning.
table.
Really, my fancy elf
Have
friend.
some beers, everybody. Everybody settle down.
Where did those come from? Well done.
That's great.
My
Front
God,
did you just quietly
Mopey boy.
go over? Yeah, that's like,
Sweet, get them drunk, then they'll really fight.
Is one of those for me?
Yeah. Yep.
Fine.
so, Idol, would you like to give a quick description?
Yeah. I am a relatively short elf, somewhat, yes, short elf buddies! Somewhat lean with very short cropped hair and brown eyes and wearing quite a bit of fancy silver jewelry,
That
Fancy,
actually would
a
draw some
fancy
eyes in
elf.
here, too.
probably.
And
Hell
that's
yeah.
important, actually, because I think because you're an eladrin, this is something you disclose. That's a pretty rare thing. I know we had originally said PHB, but then Tracy did a very good pitch for eladrin. But so, an eladrin is a very rare form of elf, a very exotic elf that you really don't see much of in the build at all. So that has its own story and things we'll talk about a little bit off camera. But for instance, Ferris, like you're not sure. Maybe you've never seen an eladrin before. You've seen other wood elves, but an eladrin's exotic.
I mean, honestly, I only remember wood elves from when I was really young, before I was completely separated from them. So the fact that there's a different elf that doesn't have the barky colored skin, I'm just kind of like, did you like trip and fall? Are you okay? Are you good?
What? I'm fine.
You're good.
Thanks for asking,
Okay.
but I'm fine.
All right. So
How are you?
I'm well.
Normal elf talk. I guess.
This is I'm a shy elf.
Such a
Very small talk.
I'm a shy elf.
5'3" talk. 5'2" talk. Sorry.
It's 5'5". Okay. I'm
Whatever you need to do.
All right. So you're a normal elf. Like nothing. Is...
What kind of a question is that?
Look, I've had a rough time. Don't say anything, J Flash. Oh my God! I just told him to be quiet, and he listened.
I'm drinking.
This is, and now all the attention's on me, and Varys is kind of looking around and like.
I feel like we've all gotten started off on the wrong foot here. My name is Idle. What are all your names?
I'm Diedrich, and I'm very impressed that you would call out a Vandian captain on her cheating. It's quite risky.
Hey, you know, some of us just have lines in our lives that we don't cross.
Well, it was quite risky, and I have to say, she picks up another one of the beers that you brought, because apparently she had dropped the other one, or sunk it. It's like, Scust! And continues drinking.
Nice. I'm Frunk.
Nice to meet you.
I bring beer.
I'm Varys. I'm Varys.
Ferris, nice to meet you.
I'm Jaflash.
Jaflash.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you also. We have multiple elves.
Yeah.
Multi elves. But two very different elves. That's one of the things Ferris, like literally
has eyes for
Idle
me.
is very is different as day as night.
He's not really my type, but that's okay.
That's right. All right. It's us two. All right.
Yeah,
Good.
sure.
Cool. All right. We'll work.
Cool. So, Captain Etla actually says, "What brings you into port, Dietrich?" And she seems like she's kind of going past the altercation with the guards. Like, I don't want to talk about it.
We're after the greatest bounty of them all. We're setting out to be cord strikers.
All right. Berm next to her is like kind of laughs into his beard. He says, "So the dragon prow of the boat now has decided to make his own way, huh?"
Well, I've always been a leader.
That you have, Dietrich Skost. Like he clanks tankards with you, and Etla says, "Well then, I won't keep you. Safe voyage, my friend. May the gods favor you."
Thank you, Captain.
Should we go sit?
We should sit.
We should go sit.
Right after one thing, I gotta go get my axe.
All right, you're gonna go get the axe. That's straight.
I'll
And
come with
meanwhile, as you guys leave, she goes, "Leave the beers." Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna pick up my axe.
Okay.
The half-orcs are there.
Yes. So
Okay.
when you walk over there,
Yeah.
you reach down to pick up the axe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as you do, actually, a booted foot,
Mhm.
right, it's like, steps on the axe. And you do find yourself not maybe looking up, but as you're bending over, kind of,
I would
you see a
immediately
very
stand back.
drunk. Okay, yeah. So this half-orc, fighter, barbarian type, hard to know, but you've seen the super, super, super drunk. And he's like, "You almost hit me in the head, beast."
See, it was rude when you spit on the floor. And it was rude when you put your foot on my axe. But you call me beast, and I headbutt him.
Oh, nice. All right, that's really good. So, all right, let's roll some initiative.
Okay.
Well, it's on then.
Roll some initiative.
Which was an
D.
Oh.
Hey, I got a 20.
Whoa.
I'm ready.
You are ready. By the way, when you do that,
I
immediately
like
you
that
hear
you
the
definitely
Vandians.
have to make a decision first before
All right, does anybody beat a 9?
Yes.
All right, who's beats a 20?
Yes.
Sweet. What do you got, Idle?
22.
Nice. All right, anybody beat
It
a?
is plus dex, right?
Anybody beat a 20?
You got a 22.
I rolled a 20, you got a 22, yeah.
Oh, right on. What's your dex mod?
2, plus 2.
All right, you plus 3.
Plus 4.
Plus 4. All right, Adam goes first. Ferris goes next. Oh, the elves for the win. It would be 19.
Oh.
15.
I did.
Ah.
16.
All right. Use your flash. All right. 10.
11.
Frunk.
Can't leave that guy.
9.
Come closer.
2.
2. All right. You know what?
You started.
I'm a
You
little
still
dazed
got
after hitting my head against this half-orc.
Their heads are very thick.
All right.
So,
And then
follow your lead.
is elegant. All right. So why don't you go ahead and roll some? I guess what would it be? Like it's unarmed damage, so it'd be D4, and then you can decide if it's lethal.
Did you
or if
see
it's...
his thick ass?
Oh, no, I say like
That's at least a
it's-
decent. That's a 6.
Oh, for
Now,
sure.
are you snout headbutting or are you head? Because
It's forehead.
Okay.
It's all scales.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So just D4?
Yeah.
All right. So that's a 2.
All right.
Did you add strength?
All right.
Oh,
Do it
then
so.
5 if I had strength.
Okay.
All right. That is 5. That's really good. So you clock this half-orc barbarian solidly in his big thick skull, and you hear the crack from across the bar. Everybody's like, "Oh!" And then things have gotten interesting on meat night early, and so that's awesome. And so he staggers back. Now we're going to start at the top of the order. So Idle, this new dragonborn you've just started throwing down with, he seems a feisty sort. He's just cracked a half-orc in the
I
head.
did.
It's your turn. If you
Yeah.
want to do anything, you don't have to. Obviously, you can just cheer.
Oh
or
no.
help or...
Oh no. I think I'm just gonna throw one of my daggers at the half-orc.
Oh, Jesus!
Let's make
It's
this
going to be that
interesting.
kind of meat night. Right. All right.
The orc is not on the menu.
Right.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
What
Yep,
did you get?
that's what, yeah. Okay, well that's a natural 1.
Oh, show it to the camera.
All right. All right.
That's what we do with our natural ones.
That's what you do with the natural ones. All right.
Show
So
it to the camera.
throw it. It totally misses the orc, but it does actually stick in another patron, nice and soundly. He's like, "Oh, I'm not the wheel." Oh, why? And then he falls over because he's just a regular human. Just you obvious shift. Just look forward to a night of meat and ale.
Bonus action, I'm throwing my second dagger at the half-orc.
Right. Well, you're not gonna hit that guy yet.
Upward trajectory.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's a 2.
Great.
if you've got
Okay,
18 more
this
daggers, then you're going to get good at this.
And I don't have 18 more bonus actions.
Right. So the guy that you
I'm
just
glad we have her on our team.
the guy that you just hit, he's pulled an arrow, and he's standing there, no, I'm gonna be alright. And then falls like that. So you've got him zeroed for sure. He's yours. So then he dunks. Varys, you see a dazzling display of dagger work. There's something that Idle just really doesn't like about this human across the way. She's just drilling.
All right, so my first instinct was to actually go over and help that human who got hit
That's
twice.
very kind of you.
Well, he's not involved, and honestly, I'm like, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know, like, I am
Really throwing daggers
throwing
at random
daggers
people.
at random people. So I'm stuck into a moment of like, do I tackle her to like stop the knife throwing, or do I help this guy? And the thing is that my mending ability is not for flesh. So I tackle you and be like, stop hurting people. So I have a 20 on that, and so by tackle, it's going to be like a grab and be like, stop it.
Wait.
It's a
No.
grapple, in fact, which is
So
a...
that's an opposed
I'm gonna
Yes, it's
roll.
opposed.
Okay.
So it's a strength.
strength.
Cool.
You have athletics.
Okay, so let's see.
You
I've
can
got.
provision that. Otherwise,
I
you
do have
just-
athletics
Oh wow! So you got a +2
plus 2
plus your strength.
plus my strength, which is 0. So it's just plus 2 on top of it.
+2. All right, and then
So, and my goal here is to just capture you, like, stop throwing things.
Wait, did you roll a second 20? Or wait,
No,
are you rolling
he's
now?
rolling now.
Okay.
he's rolling now.
Okay.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen.
rolled a 3, so it's a
Okay.
5. Or, yeah,
Wait,
5.
okay, so that's great and maybe fitting.
I take
Right.
see.
Maybe hands counts.
I can use acrobatics to oppose this, is that
Yes,
right?
you can.
I'm going to do that.
I think actually Dex
what are you,
too.
are you going to hit
You
me?
do Dex
What?
or strength. You do Dex or strength
Not
on
yet.
grapple.
Yeah, well, my dex is way better.
Yes.
Okay, 23
All right.
to evade your grapple
So the
attack.
real question is, do you even let Varys touch you at all?
No.
Right
No.
now. So you that's probably what you had. Oh, there she is. It's like, oh, there's nothing there. I know it's dynamite. Yes.
Stop hurting people.
All right. She flash This clown show needs some leadership.
It is time for all of us to just calm down. Really,
Right
it is
now.
time for me to persuade this entire bar just to go back to randomly throwing knives at things that aren't alive,
Right.
and drinking and cheating. So, fellow bar patrons,
Yes?
I'm gonna roll persuasion.
I love that you're
to
going to roll
try
persuasion.
to try to just.
You mean like just a little snippet of what kind of words you'd
No,
share?
it really is like. This place is so full of life and headbutting and people who don't know how to throw knives. Just like
Right.
my grandma used to say, let's all get along.
Almost! Captain Etla falls over.
All right.
So, yeah, you're just going to try to, like, wow the
I'm just
crowd.
going to, I jump up on the closest table.
Yes, well, as
Bang
one
my
would.
shield a couple times and are like, this is just pure entertainment.
Yes. You've got persuasion, right?
I do, yeah.
Yes, of course you do. All right,
it's
well
a
then, this is going to be
+6.
really hard now because this is in the middle of...
I love it.
We're going to go for a
I'm pretty
20.
bombastic.
If you pull this off, my friend...
This sounds
It's gonna be
great.
a hard check because it's a rowdy bar with
That's
bloodlust.
the last time I did a hard check, I got a 1.
Yeah.
I'm planning on that again.
If you roll a 20, this is inspirational.
All right. 12, 18.
Oh, it's so close. Does anybody want to help? Flash?
I jumped up on the bar.
He did, and
You can't help. You're
and-
like wildly
well,
flailing.
I'll tell you
kind of
what.
way.
You know who's
I'm in.
next?
I'm done,
Frunk.
right?
Yes, but Frunk, you're actually next. So you see your friend,
Power cord, baby.
and who's actually giving a much, much better speech than the one in Bayward. People are like actually half listening. At the halfway house, the half-orcs are half listening. So you, my friend, could take them the distance. Maybe if you were to actually help your friend with maybe a little performance, maybe some oration, or you could let him sing.
Counterpoint.
So what I'm what I'm going to do
Yes.
is so I was already accompanying him towards these half-orc patrons. I was at his back. So at as soon as possible, I'm gonna reach down with my foot and flip his axe back up to him as I just come in for just a straight clock on that guy.
Apparently my oration is not working.
but you really almost
All right,
had him.
fellow patrons.
Yeah, right.
Shall we sing?
Yeah. The bartender is like, oh, really? You should listen to him.
Let's sing.
All right, so the oration was a noble effort, but it did not quite go off with that hitch. But you know what? Because you've been so good on that, I'm going to give you inspiration. You're
All
gonna have
right,
the first
excellent.
inspiration in the party. That
All
means
right,
you
so I
roll
get to roll
at
another.
advantage
Yeah.
at some point, not now,
I
but
got it.
because I like
Is there a
that you're
place to
sticking.
mark? Oh yeah,
Yeah, right above
there's
it.
a place to mark
Because
inspiration.
you're sticking with your character.
Yeah.
So Frunk, you want to
I'm a
flip that
paladin
axe
with
up, which I
no
love,
strength.
to do it really
This is
sweetly.
all I got.
You can do Dex Athletics.
Athletics check, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
It's my
This is
soccer
going
skills.
south.
This is it's not super hard. So I'm still getting to know this screen, which is elegant by the way, but still, let's do it's easy. It's easy. You can hook your foot under there. You can do this.
Okay, that's just all right.
What'd you get?
9.
A 9. Ooh. So a 9 isn't quite good enough. So what happens though is when you flick the axe, it just kind of goes outside of Dietrich's grasp. And so it kind of clunks off the meat wheel and then hits the poor guy in the head who was just getting back up. Ow! You do this thing under this table, but still, you could. It's easier for you to grab on the
Sure.
extra. You do it as a free action. And
If
that
I was
it.
any
You were gonna do?
smarter,
I was just going in for just a straight
Straight.
haymaker on the half-orc that just was recovering from the headbutt.
That sounds like a good plan. All right, go ahead and roll, and we'll see where you go.
And
2.
that's
This side of the
Terrible.
table is not
my
having a great
gosh.
time.
Oh my gosh!
I'm having a great time.
Right. So that is a miss. Sounds like. So you hit the meat wheel and bury your fist in some of that meat. Just and when you pull it back, now you've got half of maybe what was once a chicken. Actually on your fist, it's just sort of stuck in there because
Take
you
a bite.
really Do you?
sure.
All right, you've got inspiration too. Let's get some inspiration going. Are we having some fun? So you're and you're arr. And really, the crowd isn't sure at this point if you did that on purpose or not. But it's spectacular because you hit a piece of rotating meat perfectly. like, whoa!
Nice.
All right. Now, the orc that you've been pummeling, actually...
Don't look at me. I'm up on a table
Yeah,
like starting a song.
So his great sword sings out of its sheath from behind his back, and he swings it in a low, lethal arc at you, actually,
Of course.
Dietrich, because
Yes,
he's
this is all my
incensed. It is really all your fault. Does a 13 hit you?
It does not.
It does not. So he's super housed.
Yeah.
Mechanically, he's rolling at a disadvantage.
Okay.
So he's like, and just like breaks some chairs and some little pieces, but the meat wheel's fine. And then
I'll see about
his brother,
Yeah.
actually, who's now coming into this as well. He was kind of ghosting around the side. There's no flanking now in 5e, so I don't know if that's... So he's just going to attack you. Also, very drunk. Oh, dear. I fear that would be a hit, however, with his great axe. He would have rolled either a 23 or a 24. That is some dynamite
Either of those
rolling.
are good. Yeah.
All right. So, with that in mind, I know his first level...
Yeah.
3...
Don't hold back.
No, 7 points of damage.
All right.
So, that was really a huge sting, I assume. Like, he's like... And just, again, he just buries this great axe blade in you, and the crowd is like, whoa! Because now there's real blood.
Yeah.
And not just from a human merchant, but we're throwing it out. Dietrich, it's your turn.
Well, I won't bother retrieving the axe that's been bobbled around a bit. I've got extras, so I pull out the 2 axes that are still on me, and I'm going to swing twice at the brother who hit me.
All right.
I'll just roll these with it.
2.
So that's a critical miss and a 15.
Actually,
Jesus.
quickly,
Yeah.
and I should this earlier, you actually are also attacking at advantage.
At advantage?
Yes, because they're
Okay.
attacking at disadvantage and you're attacking at advantage.
For being the sober one? Sure.
Yes.
All right, so we'll treat this as one roll then. So this is a 15 for the first axe.
That hits.
And for the second axe, more. 22.
22 also hits.
All right, so that's 9 damage and 5 damage.
Okay.
So 14.
So, describe what happens when you exactly do enough damage to kill him. Like, how do these
Yeah.
2 cruel blows cut him down?
The first slash, I see that I open him up for a lethal blow, but I don't actually want to kill him, so I go for non-lethal and just hit him with the hilt of my axe to knock him out on the second strike. And I turn to his brother and I say, you shouldn't have called me beast.
Nice. The brother in question, like, slumps to the floor like dead weight, but
Yeah.
still alive, which is merciful. And then the other brother, unfortunately, because he's like, "Rrrr," you kind of seen this before. Nobody hears a barbarian, but you've seen this before. He's like getting into a frenzy of like rage, but still, through his red haze, maybe he kind of acknowledges you didn't kill his brother. "Rrrr."
Well, seeing that I'm probably going to get hit again, I will bonus action to second wind to get some hit points back.
Yeah, nice.
And that healing comes with a gulp sound.
Yeah, well, but that's all right because you look super tough. Now, for what it's worth, too, the Table of Indians are like, "Rrrr," they're totally cheering you on. This is a story. Back at the top of the order, Idle.
Yeah, so let's see, I guess it doesn't, let's see. Doesn't really matter because he's already within 5 feet of Jared. So I'm gonna Misty Step over to the remaining half-orc and sneak attack with my rapier.
All right. And you're also attacking it at advantage.
Oh, that's good because that was bad. That's better. Well, let's see. 23. I
That
think.
hits.
Yay. So let's see. 1d8 and then 1d6.
Now, the real question, too, is this lethal damage?
Oh,
or
it's
are
lethal. Yeah. Let's see. 9 plus 4, so 13 damage.
That also cuts this orc down. Would you like to describe how you impale this creature?
Just a neat little stab through the back of the ribs.
Oh, all right. You just actually, that gulp that you had taken, like, okay, here he comes, and then all of a sudden, you just see a slender blade emerge from out of his chest and then, just as surgically, disappear, and the light goes out of his eyes, and he just falls forward.
Revealing idol behind him.
Yes, really. Yes, absolutely.
I would grab 2 drinks off the nearest table, hand one to her. and clink.
All right, you can do that because actually the entire crowd, seeing that the battle has for the most part ended, cheers. Rah! Now, just to get you guys kind of into the chords, that the setting, this might be an appropriate spot if one were to be a bard or a persuasive orator to kind of like play up this scene, because part of it is imparting your legacy to actually people, right? So it's like, oh, I'm actually going to say this saga. I want to actually have these people go. So that's like, actually is like, that's what you're trying to do. So.
Sure. Yeah.
Or you don't have to. You can totally be anonymous.
No, I'm like, like, how would I do this?
Just some little
I'm
bit of
literally
showmanship.
standing on the thing. I'd be like, and that is the strength of us as a group in numbers.
Here, here!
Unrelenting.
Speaking of adventure band,
Unforgiving.
so
Unknowing.
and then someone cries out, "What is your name?" Band of Worthies. This is a glaring branding error. We need. You realize this now. You're like, oh, we need a group name. But that's right.
Unknown.
Yeah. Oh, to those people, we will sing of your legend, strangers.
To be decided.
Faceless.
The Faceless, yes! We are the Faceless!
That's actually really good.
Could be.
The faceless. That sounds great.
That you're just like is that faceless? That's right.
It sounds great. Voice.
Okay, yeah, the
faceless.
All right, now, really, the charisma people. Would you like to just do a little persuasion or a performance roll? I just kind of want to see how much this sticks, how much people buy into this moment.
Fuck, did my D20 go? Bro?
No, I need a metal one so I can make
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot
you
of
need the metal
damn
one.
noise.
It's really got to disturb
Alright,
the
here.
Throw
microphone.
the metal.
All right, so we're really setting ourselves up.
Yeah, this is like the beginning of your story.
I'm using the inspiration
All right.
because this was inspiring. I'm doing it.
That's a wonderful use of it. If I could give it to you again, I would.
What
It's
is
just not in
roll
his
an
power.
extra-
As a
It's
DM.
not in my power. One inspiration at a time.
What?
So you get to roll twice and take the highest result.
All right.
This is the story of the faceless.
11 plus 6, 17.
17 is a very good. So like, like you actually have some people start to laugh. You hear the term "the faceless" kind of like start to circulate around the bar a little bit. Later in the evening, just a montage. People are saying, "Hey, you're with the faceless, right?"
I am.
Yeah. Which is crazy because you got such a dynamic face.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
It's crazy. All right. Well, that's
Dear.
cool. All right. So also the bartender shuffles over and sort of like despondently through the sort of, like helps drag the bodies away over to the corner. The one half-orc actually really takes his brother's body out amidst some maybe orcish tears and certainly a lot of rage. Oh wait, actually no, you knocked one. Yeah, you knocked the guy out when he comes to. The other body he like drags away. They seem really upset about that. Or the one guy seems really upset about that. Like that's not something he particularly enjoys. But.
Should we kill him?
What type of wood elf are you?
Sorry, let me go back into character. How is the human?
Actually, it's funny you say that. When the faceless that cry comes up, he does actually from underneath the bar. That's great. I'm still alive.
Cool.
Which people don't cheer as much about, but.
I'd like to go over and just kind of give the guy a pat on the back and like mend his clothes because I have a power to do that, to actually fix some
To
stuff.
fix clothes? He's like, thank
It's
you
not
so
a
much.
lot.
Although you can also stop the profuse
One of your
bleeding.
skills is sewing?
Is mending.
Yeah, he mints. He darns. He knits.
When you're out in the wild,
Yeah.
a lot of clothes rip on snaggle brushes things. It happens as a technical outward term.
So incredibly useful.
It comes up more than you think. But he does appreciate that.
I need a new pocket! My small woodland friend.
I can do it.
Excellent.
So yeah, I want to mend up the stuff and be like, I'm so sorry. I tried to stop her. Like, she's too fast.
Too fast, be furious.
Furious.
Right?
I'm happy.
Question. So this is a bit of a beginner's question. So I sleep for 4 hours a night. So do you.
Yeah.
And can we do a mini quick thing?
That depends on the thing.
Well, I'm a little worried about the orcs that got out, and I'm a great tracker, and you're also a rogue, and so I wanted to see if
What? How do you know?
You told us that.
I know. No, I
No,
said
she
nothing of the sort.
She really
That's
did.
the first I heard.
All I
Really?
did was teleport and stab.
Meta!
I made dude. I assume because of the knives. I'm making an assumption because of the
you're
knives.
profiling.
I'm sorry. I have a lot of
Roguish profiler.
Yeesh. So
Buddy pulls
okay.
out blades. Next thing you know,
So
gotta
I
get
think they're a rogue.
Great.
So I wanted to know if we could go check the city a little bit for 4 hours while these lumps are sleeping to just see how they're all doing.
Definitely goes down the streets of a darkened Boorish at midnight.
Sure.
No, you're up for this?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's in tracking would be a perception or a survival thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So when you see, by the way, folks, Varys and Idol slipping out the door, unless you're saying you're going to do it after everybody's asleep. Or
right. Well, because we wake up 4 hours. We're done 4 hours earlier than everyone else.
Or we
Okay.
sleep for the last 4 hours. Of the
We
time.
meditate.
Either way.
We meditate.
It's an elf's option, actually. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, so you guys are sound asleep, and then the elves just quietly make their way out.
I'm not in you guys' room, by the way. I already have a room here.
That's probably true.
It's just
I knocked. So I guess roll a d20 for tracking to find these orcs.
Yeah, why not?
Cool. So I got a 14 and
I
I'm
can
survival.
assist and add advantage,
It
right?
would be, yeah, it would be. Now this is also, because it's the city, because it's
Right.
a trammeled street with
Right.
tons of people coming and going, it's actually going to be a very hard check to like pick out.
Plus,
one
it's not the
particular
woods.
No, but you can do it. You can do it. I
I'm
mean,
a
there's
tracker.
ways. A really
Yeah.
badass ranger could totally do that.
There's a
Very
big
badass druid.
line of blood along the ground
Well,
from
or,
the corpse
or
that's
boots
being.
dragging its trip.
Yeah.
It's mostly just how much has been obfuscated over the course of that because it's still a popular area.
Right.
So yeah, so what'd you
So
get?
I rolled a 14 and I have 6 as my bonus, so it's a 20.
Okay, well, you know, man, it's a hard check, so I'm going to give it to you. You actually do see, partly because you can divine the door. Obviously, you know the door that the brothers, or the brother with his dead brother, went out. But then also you can see, like, after you beat it on
Right.
the dragging heels, you can, like, kind of follow it out.
Cool. And now I'm going to make a request of you, Idol, is if we can try to see if there's something going on, because the orcish tears never, as he would say, orcish tears makes pain of beers. It's his thing. So, trust me, he says things like that.
Okay.
And
Especially when he rolls once.
especially when he rolls once. So, but I want to make sure that they're not going to come back after us.
That's a very hard
Yeah,
streak,
look,
Varys.
Have I, like, since I've been staying here for a bit, I don't know how long, but more than a day, probably.
Yeah, you actually, yeah.
Have I met these two before? Like, do I feel like that this guy's likely to get
Yes.
to want vengeance?
Yes. These are the Dram brothers. And actually it's Hugh Dram and Or Dram. One is a half-orc and the other is half-human. And the thing is, nobody knows which one's more deadly.
What's the other half?
Well, I know which one's more deadly right now.
That's just how they introduce themselves. It's sort of their pick-up line of cars and whatnot. They go in, I'm half-human, I'm half-orc. Which one's more deadly? That kind of thing, you know. So yes, they're terrible when it comes to grudges and things like that.
So this guy's decidedly a threat.
If you saw him again, probably you'd recognize, and yeah, he'd want to bury the hatchet, so to speak.
Bury the hatchet
Quite literally.
in us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in the meat wheel, depending on it. But yeah. Yes. Yes.
Right. So, you were asking.
So I'm asking because I'm worried about this guy and I want to basically find him and try to either make sure it's not a threat anymore, preferably not the most violent way, but...
That's interesting, Varys, because just for the sake of discussion, what is your alignment?
So I'm
Your general
I'm
ethos?
neutral good. I'm also very, very smart, and so immediately my character is like, this is just going to become a problem again.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's this moment of like, look, you guys started a fight. I don't want to deal with this. I tried to stop it,
Right.
but I'm not. We have to make sure that it's going to be safe. Kind of. That's the.
As an adherent of Wuthin, which is the neutral good bard, who's a thoughtful planner, the philosopher,
Right.
long-term planning. There's
Thinking
something to be
ahead.
said for thinking ahead.
Right.
But he might not necessarily honor the fact that you're just going to take him out. I'm not saying you are.
Right.
I'm saying that probably wouldn't be the way he'd want you to go.
So that's what I'm trying to express. Is the worry that I have, but also the like. I tried to stop the fight because that's not what we're into.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you like me to talk to him?
I want to know where they are, and I want to know if this is something that looks like a bigger threat.
I mean, not really a bigger threat than the first guy.
All right. So if I'm in,
A tiny little wood elf friend.
Not sure what to do.
What would a wood elf do in the middle of the night in a port city?
When he's
looking for a half-orc that they had just stabbed. His friends had just stabbed.
So the immediate thought is, I don't want you guys to get stabbed again.
And that's a fair thought.
And it's like, and so that's... Now, honestly, the only things I can really do right now are create bad smells, good smells, check the weather, fix some little broken things, or I can make some noises. And I'm trying to come...
Like rustling
and
furtive rustling
None of
sounds.
those seem useful right now. This whole thing seems like maybe it was ill thought out. In the back of your mind, can you just hear me saying, "This seems like a bad idea, my tiny little woodland friend"?
That's why the rogue is here. I keep making you someone else. I don't know what you are.
I'm actually a rogue. Yeah.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Good job.
Successfully profiled.
Sweet.
Maybe if you pretend like you're a ghost and visit him, like, "Oh, I don't want you to seek vengeance."
I mean, I can just go threaten him.
Is an intimidation an option?
You guys seem pretty
Always an
intimidating.
option.
Yeah.
I mean, well, in the dark.
Together you're about 8 feet tall.
That's true. If you do a tall man gag
It's
here.
in the dark. They can't tell, right? So
That you're 8 feet tall?
no, that if you like,
They're
a
half-orcs.
knife
They
to
do
the
have
throat
dark
and a knife-
vision.
They have dark vision.
Ah, shoot.
Yep.
But not from behind. They don't have eyes in the back of their head.
So I think like you are probably would have to be slightly furtively talking about this somewhere. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that you had tracked the Dram brother, this being Hugh, or let's say it's Hugh Dram, the half-human,
Right.
half-orc. And so you're sort of like, you see the hovel where he stays, and you might maybe hear drunken weeping from inside. Not to half-humanize him, but that is what's going on.
Should we roll perception to tell if perhaps he has heard us? Or is he just too busy weeping?
You're almost certainly he hasn't heard
Okay.
you yet. You're standing outside,
He's drunk and
voyeuristically
sad.
looking at I love you. Which really makes you think, doesn't it? But yes, so I just wanted to like set the stage. So you
Okay.
are actually out in a street, albeit a darkened one, smaller, off to the side. Sometimes passers-by come by. Sometimes they're not nice, but that's, and then
Right.
Hugh is inside.
I'd like you to try to intimidate this orc.
Okay.
Sneak up behind so that they don't recognize that it's you, but be like, try to be like the faceless ones you cannot deal with.
I mean, it's fine by me if he recognizes me, because I'm invested in him not coming back to kill me.
That is true, but I'm assuming you're part of our faceless ones now. You threw a knife to help us, and I think if you're willing to help us, huh?
I think you guys are a lot of fun.
Are you friend zoning us?
Oh, bold of you to assume that we're friends.
Are you acquaintance zoned us?
Yeah, a little bit.
Are you willing to try this intimidation?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need
Totally.
anything from me?
Intimidation.
Rustling sound.
Rustling sounds, exactly.
I single-handedly killed his brother.
That's
so
what
I
I'm
think-
saying. You
Yeah.
should intimidate him in the same way you intimidated his brother.
You're not here.
All right, so to move things along,
What alignment are you?
What's the intimidation plan?
Sneak up behind, knife to the throat.
I mean-
don't bother us. Bother them again. I'm watching them and we'll kill them. Something like that. So it's a shadowy figure.
I think I would just walk in the front door and also say that.
Okay. I mean, if you don't do it, I'm gonna try to grapple you again. We saw how that works last time,
We did.
but I will try.
We did.
From
Cool.
inside, you hear.
Oh, boy.
The corpse is snoring.
Yeah, it's just, they kind of bloat and...
So, as it turns out, while you've been talking outside,
Corpse noises.
he's passed out, dead drunk.
Okay, well, I'm gonna knock on the door. I'm gonna pick the lock.
It's a very easy lock to pick. You don't even need to. You're
Because there's no lock.
Who breaks
Super
it?
easy to pick.
The Dram
You
Brothers'
start picking
house.
it, and I just push the door lightly.
All right. Inside, you see the body of Hugh, or Dram, which
Yep.
is terrible, but also his brother Hugh passed out, maybe holding his hand.
Oh, man, that's so sweet.
It is a little sweet.
I'm gonna shake him awake.
Oh, it's you!
Hi, Hugh.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Oh, terrible, my brother died.
Oh, no. You remember who killed him?
What, was that you?
I killed him.
I knew that.
Did you see how easy it was?
No, actually, I was super drunk.
I want you to know it was very easy. And I want you to think about how easy it would be if you did anything that I didn't really like. Like if you came after any of my friends for revenge, how easy it would be for me to do the exact same thing to you.
All right. Can you do an intimidation check for me?
I squeak in excitement at being called a friend.
Listen, sometimes people lie to make life easier.
I shrink from my 5'5"
Okay.
stature to 5'3" in sadness.
Well, that's
Your
only
true-
a
your
12.
true height.
I'm not,
In this particular instance, it's not necessarily opposed. You believe that he believes you're certainly capable of killing him because he's seen as much. But what you get out of him is he goes, oh, it's so much easier to think clearly when the rage subsides. That in the ale. Oh.
Yeah, maybe you should lay off one or both of those for a little while.
All right. And also because he's lying prone and you got him at a total disadvantage, he's like, it's all good, elf. I won't come after you, you don't come after me.
You got it.
All right.
very productive evening.
Yes, indeed.
Is there another one out there?
I make a little rustling sound with my... And it's a mouse.
He's like, oh, it's that wood elf, isn't it? All right, I swear, if you don't come back around here, I won't. No harm, no foul.
Good.
All right.
Good.
So I guess that's a tour. I need some sleep.
I leave.
Okay. I need my orc rest. All right, well, let's go. So at least that's what he says. That's very good. I appreciate that you tried for a non-violent solution.
I feel-
adherent of Wuthen.
I feel like we just reminded... He was so drunk he might not have known who it was, and we just told
Yeah.
him who it was.
Yeah.
A little counterproductive.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
shit.
He is sobered up greatly from the thing. But having said all that, you make your way without any more incident back to the room. These folks are probably sleeping lightly or however they do. And then the morning comes, nothing else happens. Smell like some cooking from downstairs. You head down. You can certainly do more stuff in Borsch if you want to, or you can also just like head out on the road because you do have you need
You
to
gotta
meet.
get to the ninth layer.
Yes, Balewin and Vala in 2 days, which will be a nice. That would be Twirl's Day, is when you're actually getting their first bell, the ninth layer.
Let's eat and head out.
Yeah, we've seen all the adventure this town has
Right.
for us.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Finish off the chicken from my hand. And ready to go.
Yes, ready to go.
Share a wink. Share a wink.
That
Really.
way he serves the food. The innkeep is named Burgle, which he admits is a terrible name for an innkeeper, but he was raised, in fact, he was adopted by a very lovely family of orcs. And that's kind of how he came into the place. You can tell the DM had a little more backstory prepared and wanted to squeeze that in. So
That's a lot of information you're offering to us.
It's true. I'm an NPC with more backstory than you would think. I admit. Sometimes they can't all be winners. So yeah. So anyways, so it's really wonderful. And then you're well fed. If you needed to, you have a short rest. So anything that, or actually a long rest.
Yep.
So anything that you would have accomplished in that period of time, you can do. Otherwise, then you set back out on the road. Is that a fair assessment?
Yep.
Sure.
Back out.
Back out. Back to it.
I could have healed you, but we went to sleep.
Yeah, the great
You
sword
can
wound
still retcon that if you want to.
closed up overnight. That was fine.
That's fine too. So everybody would be back. Let's just back up to hit points because we're gonna. So yeah, back up to full. All right. So on the high road, you make your way down the high road to Gelt as the primary trade route of the free cities. It is well maintained and winds its way through open spaces and small groves of trees. A quarter mile away to your left, the grassy expanse falls abruptly away to the Sea of Consequence, hundreds of feet below. To your right, the Geldwood stands like an imposing wall of densely packed ancient trees and deep undergrowth. In places, it comes uncomfortably close to the road. In others, it veers a half-mile away. It is said there are many large, open expanses within it, places where the overhead branches form into airy sylvan cathedrals that one could traverse unimpeded. Gildy's outriders, who have made expeditions into its depths, also claim to have discovered trails as wide as the high road itself. But if that's true, no such means of ingress are to be found here. The sun steadily makes its way overhead and the routine of travel settles in, and you almost let yourself feel at peace. But just before that happens, you hear the distant sounds of battle from around a slight bend in the road ahead. Here, the Geldwood presses in very close to the road, and you think it would be an ideal place for an ambush.
Wait, so we think it would be an ideal place for an ambush. And it sounds like there's an ambush.
Sounds like there might be an ambush.
You guys, there may be an ambush up front.
Right. Oh, yes. In Patron, it's hard to tell the nature or number of combatants, but it is clear they are fighting for their lives. What do you do?
Can we see them or we just hear them?
You can hear them, but you can't see them because it's like the road goes and there's like trees that obscure, and then like you turn around a corner, so you're like.
I give Frunk a camaraderie slap of the back of my hand against his chest and say, to arms! And I run straight ahead towards battle.
Seems like a bad idea. What is the matter with these people?
So your approach plan is: are you charging like?
Seems we have two elves, including one that looks like a tree.
This would be a great argument if I was still near enough to hear it.
All right, fair enough. So I'm not going to have anybody roll initiative yet. I'm going to, because you're charging, so...
Yeah, at least until I can see them.
Okay, so would you say running, not like, or screaming, charging a
No, I'm not, it's just running with the weapons out.
So the sound that your kit would make...
Yeah.
I kind of shrug and start jogging after him.
You're in light armor, right?
Chainmail.
All right, so a little bit of clanking, but not a ton of clanking.
The shifting sound.
Well, then this will still suffice. As you round the bend, you see an overturned merchant wagon, meaning bearing the tattered banner of Gelt. Are you with these guys?
Yeah, I'm running out. This is a really bad idea, you guys.
Right. It's even worse to split the party.
We could have seen them from afar and figured that, okay, fine.
This is fine sense of tactics, you Flash. So, is the party together, or are you hanging back?
Oh, no, I'm not running up there with them.
All right, so you're hanging back?
Probably.
I'm going to take the middle route. I'm playing midfield here, where I don't want to be in the initial clash.
Right.
But I can be in a position where I can help out if needed.
All right.
I shout back, "One of you little folk run through the woods. We're going around a corner. There's a big stretch of woods here. It's your jam, right?"
It's your jam.
You're woodly folks.
Right? You like the woods, right?
I start slowing down, and then I turn and go into the woods.
So, then I'm still going to go. As you round the bend, or most of you, you see an overturned merchant wagon bearing the tattered banner of Geld. No horses are to be seen. Around the wagon, several humans, clearly men at arms, lie butchered. Joining them are the bodies, of many goblins, apparently cut down by the guards. A very large ogre lies dead, festooned with arrows, too many to count quickly. Its eyes stare lifelessly ahead. Standing atop the wagon, a small humanoid with greenish skin, a sharp nose, and long pointed ears hops up and down as it points with the crude scimitar it holds in one hand. It appears to be berating its companions. 3 more of its ilk stand on the ground below. One also holds a wicked curved blade, while the other 2 stand to either side of the wagon, with short bows in one hand and small bits of plunder in the other. You see the guy on the top screaming and pointing, looking at the ogre, shaking its head. So that's what you see. Are you going to engage? Are you going to...
Look at these guys! You're asking the guy who's like headbutting half-orcs whether or not he's like, oh, he can't even sprint, and he's 40 yards ahead of us.
All right, so you're coming like... Fortunately, there's enough distance between you and the little band that sort of like they catch your attention, or they notice you all at once. The 2 that had the bits of plunder and the bows are like can't figure out what to do, and they quickly drop their stuff and then knock arrows and get slightly behind the wagon. The one at the base by the dead ogre actually like spins around and readies itself. The one at the top that seems to be berating the others like gets ready for a charge, sees you, Dietrich, and goes, "Hey, a big guy! You're in luck. We need a new big guy." And he points down, and you see like the dead ogre like, and he goes, "You want to join us? It's good. Just kill the other 2, and then you can be our big guy."
Sorry, I already got a crew, and I get ready to throw an axe.
All right. Oh man, it was a good job. All right, roll initiative. Oh wow, huh? You should love when the DM says, "Ooh, huh?" Those unknown humanoids are dynamite. Does anyone, though, beat a 20?
No.
18?
I got a 19.
Okay, 19 works.
19.
Oh, you both do? Okay. Dex off. Dex mod is...
He's got me beat.
Okay. All right. Frunk. And then... D. All right. And then, does anybody need a 16? All right, how about
I have exactly a 16.
Oh, do you? What's your Dex mod?
4.
Oh, wow. Way to go. You just bump the goblins, let's be honest. Bump those folks down. Idle, you're going to go, and then they're going to go. All right. What do you want?
I'm 10 plus 2 for my dexterity, so 12.
All right, 12 and...
15.
All right. Perfect. And there's... All right, well, first and foremost, Frunk, you're up.
All right. Okay, so I'm coming in behind Dietrich here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sort of preemptive bonus action my bardic inspiration. I'm just going to start like thumping on his back rhythmically.
Oh, yeah,
Giving
yeah,
him
yeah.
some like,
Yeah.
get revved up, get ready to come
I
in
feel
after
pumped.
me. Here we go. And then I'm going to pull out my dagger. I don't know how far away we are. I'm assuming that
you're
we're
about
at
45
enough
feet.
of a distance that they
Yeah.
are. They're
A standard move would not be enough. You could dash or you could come in. So there's some distance still between you.
So I think I'm going to just try and close the gap as much as I can while I pull my dagger out and just chuck it at the leader up top.
Okay. So basically, yeah, by the time you close your distance to 30 feet, so there's only 15 more feet, so you can totally throw your dagger.
Alright. So, 17?
Oh, 17 hits.
Alright.
You're throwing it at the swords in front. Oh, the leader, yeah.
Leader up top.
All right.
Yeah.
Go for it. So 17, all right, and damage?
You cut off his future
4
employment
plus
opportunity.
4, 8.
8 total points of damage?
Mhm.
All right. You just very cleanly, sweet shot, just hit him right dead center in the head. And he's like, oh, no. Oh. And then just falls over the other side of the wagon. Nice. Dead. So well done. The other goblins don't take that very well. But before that can even happen, Dietrich.
Yeah. I yell, hey guys, now you also need a new leader. And I'm gonna also close the distance and throw one of my axes at one of the bowmen.
All right. They have half cover.
Okay.
So that's plus 2 AC.
Okay, so I'll use the bardic inspiration on this. So this is the inspiration die, not my damage. Ugh.
Oh.
Critical miss.
Oh.
So I'll use my bonus action to throw the other axe.
All right.
That's a 21.
All right, well, that definitely hits.
Okay, and so the damage on that is 8.
All right. You also
Yeah.
clock the goblin dead right away.
And a new sharpshooter.
Call him out. Idle.
Yeah.
You're. I think probably you had hung back.
I'm back, and I would like to have entered stealth.
Okay.
I would like to hide.
Oh,
That's a 19 without adding anything to it, so...
that's a really good hide.
Yeah, so 25 in total.
Yeah, that's a great hide. You are Invisa Idle. So are you moving forward while you do it?
Yeah.
Yes.
How far away?
They were running at a good clip, but still, I don't think you dashed. So they would have
No.
moved 30. So it's basically in 45, 75 feet away.
Okay.
With a bend basically being about that 30, and then you see beyond that is another 45.
Okay.
All right.
I think I would only have a bonus action after this, so...
So yeah, so you can easily go
just
stuff
in
that 30
stealth,
feet.
I'll move as close as I can, but won't do anything else yet.
All right. So you see basically that battle taking place. The goblins go. This is exciting because there's literally 2 left. Ordinarily, goblins are a very cowardly bunch, but they feel pinned for their lives. So the swordsman is going to run forward, and Frunk is going to attack you. Oh, and actually, let me know, does a 23 hit?
Yep.
I don't think he was really working.
Just let me know if you're a liar.
For 7? Like, 7 points of damage?
7? Okay.
So,
Ouch.
so this goblin, perhaps after all of these things that happen, just comes at you perhaps thinking it has no choice. Well, it does. It's got its back up against a wagon and a dead ogre after all. And she's like, "Roar!" and drives its blade right into your stomach, and it's wickedly sharp, much more so than you would think. And you might need shots after this. The other goblin looses an arrow. Wow, I am rolling dynamite, and I do apologize for that. 23.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Again, that is pretty incredible. 7 also points of damage.
Yep.
An arrow just buries itself in you,
Yeah.
so more tetanus shots all around. And then it kind of hides. It disappears. You don't see it from where it went behind the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Jaflash.
Yeah,
Now, you were there in the van of all this action.
I am.
So you've seen, 2 of your
have.
party members get some pretty serious damage.
Yeah, so I wasn't running with my shield because I wanted to. I just ran after these guys. So once I see engagement, I just take out the longsword and just run and try to cleave the goblin in half with the longsword.
Yeah, that's a good plan. The scimitar person is somebody that you can get to.
Yep.
Because it's close
Close
distance
the
as
gap.
well.
That's what I'm doing. I'm rolling.
All right, roll. Let the pips fly.
13.
13, you say, is not quite good enough.
All right, yeah.
But still.
Yeah. Look at me swing my sword! I can swing a sword
Right?
as
Varys.
well as talk.
As well as time. So, Varys, you were
I'm in the woods.
playing midfield elf.
Yeah,
right?
it's specifically in the woods. So I'm assuming I haven't been spotted.
No.
No.
Heavens, no.
Cool.
You're one with nature.
Sweet. That's the best kind of way to be with nature. So am I behind anyone or anything from my angle?
You're not behind now. Basically, the tree line. I mean, this is your perspective, right?
Right.
Here's the road, and it kind of went around this way. Here's the tree line.
Right.
Then you saw the wagon, right, overturned, and these goblins are fighting. The forest goes that way. The
Right.
road goes that way, right? And so I'm assuming that if you're in the woods, you're here,
Right.
You're like this,
Cool.
right? So you could be on a flank of the wagon
Right.
if you continued that way.
I would like to. So I have 35 speed. I'm pretty fleet of foot.
You are fleet-footed.
Literally have fleet. Yeah. So I want to run along to be in a position where I could flank them.
Mhm.
I'm still, Mask of the Wild. I'm still very hidden, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I want to do that. Is this a situation where I can go along the edge and then pop out behind someone to try to go for a surprise attack, or am I setting up and then waiting?
I'd let you go for the scimitar person if you had a ranged attack, because you could parallel it and then go to over. But if you're really going for a hiding in the woods and then going over to attack the scimitar person, that's probably a little move too much.
Okay,
There's
so
no range.
cool.
No
so
range.
I'm
Really,
running.
no range.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that later.
I've-
But
Next level, there'll be no reason for me to have any tools, really.
right.
It's I will have claws.
Oh,
Like,
perfect.
So I sprint through the
But
woods.
can you shoot those claws at people?
I can throw the stick. It's a quarterstaff.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
It's a perfect.
Ow! Who throws a quarterstaff?
If it takes one moment of their attention off of you people who are bleeding out.
I always think that's like, I'm 8 hit points, so you don't have to lose.
Right,
That's what I often
exactly.
say. That's what I bring to the table. No, all right. So you go through the woods.
So I'm just running through the woods, going under branches, hopping over little logs, that kind of thing, and setting up to have a flank attack. But I'm not quite there fast enough, and so I'm just in the bushes. You can just basically kind of see my eyes, maybe if you're looking.
It sounds like you're in a good spot to catch them if they run.
Yeah,
Right.
That could be true too.
Which actually, question: I have a trap, a hunting trap.
Mm-hmm.
Could I, if they're gonna run, is this something that I could put?
It'd take too much time.
Never mind.
And plus, it would be really hard to predict exactly where they're going to go in the whole 9 yards. But you are in a good flanking position.
Cool.
So, and
Flanking
now,
position.
top of the order, which again we have Frunk. You're up.
All right. Okay,
This
so
nasty little thing.
this little guy just sliced right through me, right?
Yeah.
And I swung, but a little bit too high.
Yeah, but it was glorious.
Okay, so as
It's not my forte.
It's I'm a people person.
let's see. Silly as it may be, I feel like I just want to pick him up and fucking rush towards the wagon, just try and smash him through the wagon.
I don't think there's anything silly about that. Do it.
It's gonna be silly when you roll a 1.
Fucking fuck.
You magical.
This game
dear.
rated M.
This is.
That's still so grapple's opposed, so that's still a 9 with your athletics.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
okay.
actually, they're not terribly strong. So, I mean, I think you probably hoist him up. Yeah, he rolled a 2.
Oh,
So you're
alright.
you pick him up,
Fantastic.
and I mean, for what it's worth, like eventually he's like slow motion as the way combat is. He's gonna do some stabby stuff, but not yet. So you got him, and you just boom, just smash him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just give him a smash. I think like a D4 plus strength.
Okay. So 6.
6 total points of damage. All right, you smash that guy really good. I actually, surprisingly, he still is mobile, but you're like, boom, and you see you practically brained him, and he's, recovering from that. Dietrich, you see your friend just,
Yeah, he's got it. So the archer that ran away, could I close the distance to the last spot that I saw him?
oh, so yes, where it was. So it was on the far side of the wagon, so your left was where that archer ghosted back around. So yeah, you could run over.
All right, I'm just going to bear down on him and try to close to melee with him.
Mm-hmm.
As I turn the corner, is he close enough for me to get him?
Mm-hmm. You could also, not trying to dial this in, but because, so you know the setting, you could actually, with your height, even maybe vault the top of the
100%,
wagon and then like, right?
Yeah.
Because there's nowhere else. He's definitely behind the wagon.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to vault the wagon. As soon as I see where he is, I'm dropping on him, double axe handle. All right.
I mean, easy athletics check or strength.
Okay.
So athletics with proficiency or strength.
That's a 20 for the
So,
athletics.
so you actually don't even really touch the wagon half.
Right.
You're just like skying up.
Yeah.
You see him like
I hurl it.
He like looks up. Oh shit!
All right, and then both axes coming straight down on him. So both rolls were a 12 to hit, which I bet is going to miss.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yes. Even with height advantage, is that a thing in 5e? Do you have?
Not really.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you did scare the pee out of him.
Yeah.
Because that was like. "Rah!" So then.
And
you
for
like,
a goblin,
"Oh,
it smells awful.
That's yeah. And plus, think about this: like first level, you got to go up.
Yeah.
That's right. Places to build on. All right. So you like land
I
next to it, like.
Really should have landed on top. The whole vaulting all the way clear thing
That was a
was
little
just
too
aberrant.
much. That's right. It's like reduce, like simplify. So idle. One thing you do note is that your friend is bleeding profusely, whether he wants to admit it at the moment or not. But this goblin is like cranking back that he just sprained, and it still has enough strength in it to maybe open his throat if it wasn't able to get through. So, that in mind, what do? You also saw your dragon warrior friend disappear over the wagon, surely to eviscerate whatever's over there.
I could help someone, or I could kill someone that someone missed and be real showy about it.
Yeah, it's true. Personal glory is an agenda item. That is true.
I will take a shot at Frunk's
Hold him up
little
here.
victim.
That's true. You
Perfect.
actually are.
Just like right over the shoulder.
Yes, that is going to be a heck of a shot.
Okay. This is from stealth. Do I get advantage?
As a rogue, I think you do.
Even in ranged? I'm open to it.
As a rogue, she gets it just because Frunk is next to him.
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah,
Wait,
that's
no,
right.
that doesn't
See?
give me advantage. That lets me use sneak attack.
Oh, right.
But sneak
These
attack
are the
gives you
things like-
advantage.
These are the 5e things I do.
No,
I
sneak
know.
attack doesn't give you advantage.
Just the damage.
If I'm in stealth,
Oh.
though, which I am,
Yeah.
I do get advantage, right?
Sure. Let's
I'm
do it.
pretty
We'll
sure.
figure it out later. I like
I'm
it.
90%
That's
sure
like
that that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a
Oh.
25.
So that
No
really...
advantage
that-
necessary.
Yeah.
So
Well,
now, like,
it could have been the other one. You never know.
when you had smashed the goblin Frunk up against the wagon, you had kind of held it there. Bam! Right? You see it like doing this, and then all of a sudden an arrow just goes and just pins its head into the wagon. So it's like, and now if you let it go, it'd probably just hang there.
I will do that.
All right, it does in fact just hang there.
I did roll 13 damage, so that seems...
That seems more than fitting. He's like, yeah, you're holding it up just with the power of your arrow. That's a heck of a shot.
More arrow than goblin.
Take his
Third dude is
scimitar,
dead.
and I just plant it right in his belly just to keep him pinned.
Right, so now, like,
Nice,
faceless,
good.
we're here. In Goblin. The bow goblin,
Yep.
who doesn't even necessarily know what's going on, but it does know that
Yep.
there's a giant dragon humanoid with axes, like, roar. That's above his pay grade for sure. So he starts booking away. He does disengage, so he doesn't
Okay.
provoke, but he's running straight at the forest, which, for what it's worth, Ferris, you do note that there is a bow goblin, like, with little slappy feet, like, making haste in your general direction.
I'm not even going to take the opportunity attack. I'm just disappointed that he ran.
If you were a true warrior.
I let my axes drop. I shrug. I shake my head.
Yeah.
That's not what I wanted.
There's no glory in it. Well, all right. So he's like, books away. Flash. There's like this little bow goblin booking away.
No, I'm gonna lay on hands.
That is actually.
And I'm right there. And
how many points of hands do you
I
get?
have 5 points of hands. I'm gonna. They both got. You guys, I watched
7
both of
each.
them get
I'm
whacked
fine.
for 7 each. What? Yeah. What? Like.
I would shake off any attempt to heal me. I'm fine.
Yeah, I'll do 4.
Frunk.
Frunk.
You're healed for 4.
Nice.
It does require some uncomfortable touching from J Flash, but ultimately it's
This will
worth
be
it.
over soon. Don't worry.
Cough. They're fine. All right. So yes. So Varys.
I'm gonna go after little Slappy Feet.
All right.
And,
You don't have to go after him. He's kind of running basically in your direction.
Right, so I'm letting him get close so that I can surprise Slappy Feet.
Alright.
This is my time to shine, so I'm getting excited.
Yeah, this is good.
Because I'm like, this guy is like,
We're
they
all
attacked a
done.
wagon, and this is the first real hero work we got to do.
This is it.
So
This
I'm
is your
like,
moment.
this is my moment. I want to impress everybody.
Glory in the ferns.
Right, so this would be quite perfect if I killed
Yes.
this
Here
terribly.
he comes.
So here he comes.
Where's our little
I'm using a
elf friend?
scimitar.
He's in the trees with his people.
So
Get out!
all right,
Yeah.
so I roll a D or a D20, right?
You
We're
do.
all done over
I roll
here.
D20. I got a 13.
All right, and then you add your attack value
My
total.
attack
Right.
value total is
Wait,
It's
0.
gonna be
No, he's got 2
Oh, no,
proficiency.
+2.
plus 2.
Surely he must.
Yeah, plus 2. So that 15 because I'm using a scimitar, and or is it? No, it's plus. Yeah, it is because it's dexterity.
Yeah.
Is it more than a 15? Or
Uh,
is it 15 or greater?
It's 15.
it's 15.
That works for me.
Cool.
Oh, not another one.
And then I roll a D8
says-
to do damage.
Yep.
Which one's the D8?
That's this multiple
You'll get.
triangle.
Thank you.
It's been a long
learning,
time
I'm
since
learning.
I've heard that. Thank you, my friend.
All right, so
Oh.
I got according.
Yes. That's awesome. We'll say
Well,
8.
that's it.
Technically, people go, that's cocked. I'm not going to say that because it's an 8. And I like it.
You only say that when it's a low number.
Right, yeah. It's cocked. So that's pretty awesome. 8
Cool.
plus. Do you have any strength to add to it? Or anything?
You add your dex.
My dex to it. So dex is plus 2.
Perfect. So it's 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage.
So this is your first kill, Varys.
Oh, this is awesome.
Describe it.
So, guy's running by, looks back at you guys, and then all of a sudden I pop out, swing scimitar through the neck, and the guy continues to run for 2 steps, and then the head separates and the body falls. And I get to do the little whip blood off the top of it, and I go, oh! Oh my god!
Yeah.
He was running away.
Well, actually, technically, he was running to you. It's hard to know that wasn't
Still
a-
counts.
Yeah, right, still
Still
counts.
counts.
All right.
Well done, my small woodland friend.
You recruited
Punching above your weight and height.
It's a goblin. I don't know if it was that much higher.
well. It's a good, clean blow. So, when you look around, you realize that the wagon itself, it doesn't really have anything of treasure that would interest adventurers. This was a pretty modest enterprise. There's some staples, there's some trade goods and stuff like that, but this was a humble effort. The guards themselves, pretty shoddy equipment for the most part. You know, these were bargain basement men-at-arms.
These guys are low budget.
It was all low budge, right? So yeah, you can pour through some things, but ultimately, there's nothing really of note for worthies of the 9.
We probably should have just kept walking.
Well, no, but you know what? Combat was engaged. In fact, a little bit more experience under your belts.
A little.
The
bit
world of stone
more,
was dealt a
yes.
blow.
You're right.
All right.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you don't necessarily need
Apparently,
to
there's goblins in the woods.
Yeah, you can certainly try to police up the I'm not going to actually role play all that stuff, but if you wanted to do something,
I'm
like,
not policing.
All right, then
We have
never mind.
an engagement.
Let the
Yeah.
carrion.
Right.
It's actually all part of the cycle of life.
I'm starting to embrace the new job I have, which is with my fellow travelers. Less
All right.
policing, more traveling.
All right.
Murder for glory. Quite the opposite of what we used to do.
Right,
It's a bit far, but
I went from the direction that they attacked this wagon and knocked it over and did all that, and so that's why I was like, I'm comfortable with this. Like, this is a heroic act.
Well, my woodland friend, we come across the scene afterwards. For all we knew, the caravan were the aggressors.
right.
I've never thought of it that way. Let's attack these goblins with our wagon.
Yeah, you could have done it. So you guys make your way, continuing down the road. A couple more hours pass. You know that you're very close to Gelt. You see one more upon the horizon, and then slowly closing on you. By gosh, if it isn't a Geldese Outrider patrol, which they're called
Excellent!
fists. Yeah, like a fist. It's five Outriders,
Right.
and like you see the people come up. You actually recognize the captain. It's Captain Vors, which I will say you've served together. He seems like a pretty decent dude, even by your lofty standards.
Yes.
And he's always liked you.
Excellent.
He sees you, and he actually is like, oh, up to call. He goes, Jaflash, how are you, my friend?
I am great. These are my new friends. We're coming back to Geld.
More outreach, I see.
In a way, yes. Constantly reaching.
And I see. What a fine
It's,
band of worthies
it is-
you've got
yes.
here.
We from all folks. We welcome.
From all walks of the
All
Vild.
walks. All walks of the Vild.
Yes.
I went far for these.
For these
Mighty
people.
fine. He even has a lute.
He does. Actually, so he scans the group. He looks at you with a great deal of interest. Like,
This was my first one, my small woodland friend.
I
Very
wave
excited.
something like this.
well, you've always known how to recruit them.
Yes.
Flash. And then, like, he lights the eladrin for exotic idol. Is sort of like, the half-orc Frunk. He's kind of like, okay. Then he lights a new Dietrich and sees a dragonborn Vandian. And that's really kind of a, right? And then back to you, a little less jovially, he says, we saw Vandian sails on the horizon making their way down to Borges. We were just going to check things out down there. Have you...
Things seemed fine in Borges. We just came from there.
Yes, did you?
We
Was that
did.
where you found some of your recruits?
No, we found them in where was the what?
Bayward.
Bayward. These Baywards. These were folks from Bayward.
At that, he, like, thinks a moment and says, other troubles have vexed Bayward of late. We have received some word of high-end thefts.
Were you?
Cool.
Nothing high end here.
No.
Hey!
We've had a lot of short ends. No high ends.
I look dejected and walk away.
Well, it's funny. Right? So you like walk away a little bit, and so he's like, as you say, is there something wrong with your horse? You're not riding it.
Where
Oh,
did
that's
our,
right.
Where did our horse go?
Right. Because
Well, I'm not riding it because my friends, they do not have horses. And we walk together as a band.
A noble to the end.
As a novice fist. We are novicely fisting our way down there.
You know what we say in this, right? Yes.
I don't know what we say.
Well, we say bad things
Yes.
in bars late at night. All right, yes. Well, so, yes, it seems like that's kind of his thing. He's going to continue down the patrol. He was just really excited to see you. He reminds you that the gates, there's 3 gates in Geld. There's the Commerce Gate.
I
which
know
is
that
for
one.
merchants. Yes, you do. There's the Free Gate.
I've been through that one.
Terrible line.
Yeah,
right, 'cause
horrible.
It's free.
Forever.
And then the Citizens Gate,
The best gate.
which you would definitely
All of
have,
them, all the
right?
time, yes.
And maybe you'll be able to Jedi your way off
Yeah,
IP.
I'm
But
sure.
you'll be able to, ghost your way in. And actually, do you have Guild citizenship?
Yeah, so I grew up here before I moved to Bayward. So I also, as an urchin, should know the city secrets here. All the ins and outs, all the secret byways.
Yeah, you definitely have a healthy lay of the land. You definitely know too that obviously you do have the citizenship. It's expensive. It's 50 gold
It
pieces.
costs a lot.
Citizenship is service, they call it.
Right.
So it's like every year you have to re-up your But what is it, like, once you pay the 50 gold pieces, you get like official citizenship. That's a lot of money for most people.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. But I'm gonna say your patron actually also, that was one of the things he did. And so you, as an outrider, can probably get everybody in through
I
the
feel like
citizens.
I could persuade the Citizen Gate.
Yes.
To let these
Do
fellow
I?
citizens
But
in.
do I know that this is a thing? Getting into Geld?
You probably do.
Okay.
Because the thing is, like, in Geld, citizenship costs money. And that's just how it is. And so almost everything is moved by that principle.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's like if you want to go through, the easiest way is actually just pay the dough and do it. So otherwise, the free gate works. It just takes like a day-long line.
Let's do I'm quite sure we'll get through the Citizen
Is
Gate.
anybody visibly damaged?
Uh,
I mean,
well-
not mentally or psychologically.
Oh yeah. So after my second wind, I still have a little damage.
All right.
I've got 3 damage still sitting on me.
All right.
And I
Well,
do as well.
surprisingly, Captain Vors looks indifferently at your wounds. And just like,
We've done what I can to patch them up.
so you have.
Yes.
Laying of the hands.
Yeah, I laid the hands.
All right. I bid you farewell, Jim Flash.
Have fun with the fist.
Right, with the fist.
Yes.
To Borge with our fist.
Yeah, to Borge.
And I mockingly salute. Very.
Right, you give him the high barred
sarcastically.
salute.
Yeah.
Sort of glad I'm done with those guys.
So,
They're a bit stuffy.
they are a bit stuffy.
They were a bit stuffy on their horses. They're high
Right.
horses.
They really were talking about.
Walk with the people.
Yeah, right. Walk with the people.
And the small elves.
So, as you travel, ahead you see the magnificence that is Gelt.
Of course.
Here there are no traces of the Sirens. No architecture or customs survive them. Money and power alone move the machine. Massive spires spear the sky above a sea of brightly colored rooftops. The banners of trade houses and mercantile guilds fly freely above well-ordered streets. It is said nearly anything can be found within its markets. It is a city of wealth and good fortune for those fortunate enough to be wealthy. For citizenship here comes at a price, 50 gold pieces to be exact, payable upon entry through the Citizens Gate. But for those on a budget, there's always the free gate, although the day-long line leaves something to be desired. The Commerce Gate is another option, but to pass through one must show a multitude of trade goods for the guards, which is a tall order. Not far from the Free Gate lies the ostentatious pageantry of the Street of Valor, so named for the multitudes of adventurer hopefuls and fans hoping to meet one of their favorite heroes from song. It is there, at the 9th layer, you are to meet Vala and your new patron, Balewin. The meeting is scheduled for this very night at first bell. What do you do? Anyway, I'm going to get an Altoid.
What?
Oh, just right over here. Don't worry about it. It's going off screen!
DM's gone. We can do whatever we want.
I'm leveling up, guys.
He doesn't even have any dice back there, you guys. When he rolls, he just does this. Oh, it's a 20.
Oh, these goblins are real tough.
23 for all the
I
goblins.
could pull that off. That would be awesome.
I need a minute, y'all. I would just like to take a minute to forge documents proving that I'm a citizen.
And you could.
I don't think we need to do
It's
that.
okay.
I want to see if she can do it.
You guys do this. I go up to the gate, and as a member of the Outriders,
You can still be forging, but
yes,
I'm a recruit as well. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna. They're basically we're coming in all as recruits.
big surprise, those guards know you too.
Excellent.
The Flash!
Hello,
How are you doing?
unnamed guards.
right, yeah. I'm Tim!
Hello, Tim. Yes, you are.
You're
You're still Tim. That's fantastic.
The Flash!
Yes, this is great.
Oh, so you were out.
I was out recruiting,
outreaching?
and I have reached some outers
So you
and
have.
brought them back.
So you have, my friend.
My ragtag group of raggedy tags.
We trust your judgment.
Yes,
Always.
yes. It's
All
good
right.
judgment.
Uh,
Still.
Then to the garrison with you, I suppose.
Yes, we will. I know we will head there now.
Right there. Alrighty then.
Excellent.
Keep her moving.
On to the garrison. Let's go to the garrison, guys.
I am not at all with these clowns.
Right. So, did you want to actually try to just to
Yeah,
see?
is that intelligence? What do you do
Oh,
with a
forgery?
forgery kit?
Oh, where's my skills and all
So
my...
she didn't come in with us.
No. Idle stands alone.
Otherwise, I would have objected to being called raggedy.
Right. That's true. You are fabulous.
I
That is a
am.
fact.
Thank you.
I think it's forgery's got to be it. It's got to be.
That's what I've...
So yeah,
Yeah.
int forgery, and then
Google.
Yes, while you're googling,
You'll get your proficiency because it's a tool.
Yeah, I get my
Yeah.
double
I'm gonna
proficiency
say it's
because I picked
moderate.
expertise with it.
Nice.
Oh.
Show the camera.
You
Let
only show
me-
the camera if it's
Can
a
I
1.
can I burn that and try
Oh,
again?
yeah, that's a 1. There you go.
So no.
Damn it.
That is a critical failure.
Yeah,
We've
it
had
is.
a bevy this evening. It's been
Yeah,
perfect.
we have.
So what does a critical failure look like for forging?
That's a good... It's
Just drew a smiley face.
A robot pressing a hot dog over
crayon on
a
some
pie.
parchment.
Passport! It's, oh my god, yeah, it like draws her face in the corner in a little square.
Well, that's an 8.
Oh, that's okay. Because this is easy. Because you're a Flash, man.
She's very nervous.
All right, but because of an overwhelming success and because I was a critical failure, what you notice is that, you especially, that he just kind of like folds your thing. He's like, all right, yes, go on through.
Come on.
Yes, could I have that back, please?
No, I'll keep it.
I would really like it back, pretty please.
He like puts it in his scroll tube and he goes, I think I'll keep it.
This one's going up in the fridge.
Okay, yeah.
So you,
okay,
so you
let's-
know this Tim fella, huh?
Yes.
What's his
Tim.
name? What's his-
It's Tim.
To Tim.
His name is Tim?
Yeah, it's Tim.
Apparently,
Later you could tell
Okay,
us
do you know
where
where he
Tim
stays?
lives.
'Cause
Yeah.
I would have to
I
remember
like the way
that.
you think.
Might stay at the
Barely
barracks.
remembered his name, but I'm sure I'll remember where he lives.
Outriders are a different level. Tim probably stays in the barracks.
With a bunch of other Tims.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
In the Tim block.
Stop like Tim.
All right.
Yes, so.
And I'm just like,
But it's a thing.
we're going.
All right.
We're going. We're
They're
leaving this
traveling.
gate.
Yeah,
Tim-
good idea.
Keeps his little tube. Gives you one more look.
Was
Then
that
off you-
important for you?
Yeah.
All right, we can try to get it back from him when he's off duty, I guess.
Off carousing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I could also just actually... Are we out of sight?
Yes. You mean out of sight of
Out
Tim?
of sight of Tim?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to attempt to stealth in the crowd.
Okay. All right.
Where did my other small elven friend go?
Right.
I
We
don't
were
know,
just
you-
talking.
There. Now she's kind of there. Actually, I mean, if you have a perception, you can actually
Yeah,
see.
you could probably, but that's not
I
very
do.
good.
So, like, she sort of goes in, but there's a lot of jewelry.
Very sparkly.
You want me to roll?
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, if you're looking for your little
Yeah, I
elf friend,
am.
who just disappeared into the crowd.
19.
Oh,
Okay.
boy, yeah.
So actually, she's right there.
I'm just...
Alfred, where are you going?
She quietly.
We should get going, elf friend. We'll come back and get these guys later. Tim,
That
good job
is-
at the gates. Good
Thanks,
job, Tim.
Flash. Love
Doing
you,
great,
man.
Tim.
That actually
elf
is
friends.
true because in fact the first bell is getting closer, and it would be bad to miss your appointment with your first client.
This'll be fast, okay? Just...
We need to go, elf friends.
That'll be
We're not breaking you out of any goddamn jail. Come on, elf friends.
There's really
Okay,
no,
fine.
there's no
I may
changing
look
it.
anew, but I see what's going on.
Okay,
Let's go, elf
fine.
friends.
All right, and with that, once again, leadership through the street. You go to the Street of Valor. Now, you've been to the Street of Valor, and I know you have maybe...
I hate the Street of
You
Valor.
hate the Street of Valor, right? Like
Bunch of posers.
hardcore New Yorkers, Times Square, right? Whoever goes there. Yes, it's kind of like that. A little bit of that kind of a vibe. Have you ever been?
I
You
don't
ever-
think so.
you ever been?
This guy barely gets out of the woods.
Oh,
like
yes.
5'2".
I'm a town. You know,
So
small
this
town.
is
Townie.
this is going to be incredible. Like, and actually, though, the one thing about the Eladrin, well, you just based on where you are, I don't know how much the party would know or how much you even know about Eladrin, but from where you're really actually trafficked in your life, like it's cool, but it's really not that as cool compared to it's human artifice. So, with all of that in mind,
I'm wide-eyed.
ahead, oh no, that's not the Street of Valor. The street is lined on both sides with gaudy, colorful facades, each themed to a different delight or otherworldly torment, as chronicled in the many stories and songs of the Vild. Among the more notable establishments are the Ninth Lair, the Dragon's Horde, spelled H-O-R-D-E, because wordplay
It's
is
like
cool.
a play on words.
It is always
I
a
love
play
this
on
town.
words.
We're home.
Right.
It feels great.
Feels great. We're all right. Fun. The Secret Ways, the Spire, and Carl's. The latter is not legendary, but in fact pretty new. While most people here are generally posing as more successful versions of themselves, there are some real adventurers here as well, and many thieves willing to cut a purse string or two among the unwary. So, the place that you were going was...
It was the Ninth Lair on the Street of Valor.
That's correct. That's the address. And you see really, it's like, it's almost like, to do a real world comparison, sort of like a little bit like Vegas. Like, that's
The Strip.
kind of the vibe. Yeah, it really is kind of like that. All these taverns are like way over the top and more than they should be. And it's more tourist
So
to
I'm one of those
adventurer
people
ratio.
from Vegas who thinks Vegas is cool.
No, because Gelt is a very serious place.
All
The
right.
Street of Valor is a hyperbole even among
Okay.
Geld. Like, it's a tourist trap.
It's like Times Square.
Yeah. Yes. It's gaudy. It's exactly, yes, like
Right.
that, right? Like you can go really cool neighborhoods, but this is not necessarily one of them. but it's where you're going to meet Vala and Bilbin. So, you go there?
Yeah.
Anything?
Yes.
Any prep you want to do ahead of time? Any?
I don't want to upset Dad.
Right. He's got bee in his bonnet. All right. So you actually go into the 9th layer. It is appropriately themed like one of the layers of hell, the 9th, in fact. You see people around. There's like a fire motif, as one would expect. Some, different statuary of devils and whatnot. You've never been to hell, but you feel like this would be a pretty cool representation of it, if you had been. And you see Vala from across the way. It's crowded even for the early evening because it is a very popular spot. And you see her, and she's with, from across the way you see, is a beautiful raven-haired young woman in her 20s wearing a bright, brilliant blue dress, hair tied up, also in a blue ribbon.
Vala's the woman we met in Baywork, right?
She's
the one who told us to come here.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I walk towards her.
Yeah, I joined.
How is that? I describe my every move. No.
I'm looking around.
No
for
axes!
So this would be the time.
There's
Adrian.
nothing to throw axes at here.
Well, there's
You don't have the target. All right. Well, you do go across the way. Vala actually makes some introductions very quickly, and I'm just gonna give you some backstory, and then you guys can have a conversation about it. Baelwyn Idris is garbed in a beautiful deep blue dress. She has shoulder-length dark hair tied up with a matching blue ribbon, as I said, and a fierce gaze that almost, but not quite, hides her total desperation. She is the daughter of a small merchant family and currently its sole heir after her parents' recent death and her twin brother's disappearance. She and her brother, Alec, wagered almost everything they had on Gelt citizenship. What remained of their inheritance was to be used by her brother and his friend Hefir to purchase a 2-masted sloop, the Blue Gamble, for sale in the lower port district of Deepwater. That's where she was going to purchase, or that's where Alec was going to purchase it. So, and also the port districts are spots that are around Geld. They're part of the city proper, but that's where the trade takes place. They were going to become modest sea traders, plying the coast and basing their operations out of Deepwater. Alec and Hefir rode out 6 days ago and haven't been heard from since. So Baelwyn offers to hire you for the modest fee of 300 gold pieces, which is almost all she has left, she's very quick to say, to find her brother and her family's fortune and bring it all safely home. So, what do you want to do? No? What do you want to say? She sits there.
I tug on your shoulder, I guess.
Yes, small woodland friend.
Right, I'm
That was a very sad story.
I was just like, let's do it. Like, I'm up. Like,
Well, it's sort of our thing now, fellas.
Doing it, yes.
Yes, I look at the half-orc. What do you think? Do you write stories about this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I mean, sure, I'll be along for the ride.
Excellent. We'll take your last bits of gold.
But for a job well done, Worthies, I appreciate it. I know that you will find my brother. When he went to Deepwater, I know that he would not betray me. I'm sure that...
Oh, this foreshadowing is really getting to me.
No, actually, she said because she's smart, and she's like, I know in your hearts you must think that he's betrayed me, but I know that would not...
Oh, no. No one would think that.
How well do you know this Halfir? Halfir?
Half-ear.
Halfir?
No, Hefir.
Half-
Hafir. He's one of my brother's oldest friends. I don't suspect treachery from him as well. I've known him almost like a brother. I think it was just for comfort in some additional security that he rode.
Are either of them trained for this dangerous world we live in?
Are any, sir?
Well, yes, we are.
With 5
Right,
of us.
she kind of looks at me and she goes, oh, well, I suppose that is true. You're a stout of arms. They are what you said, Vala. And Vala's like, sure. Yeah, she's like, so will you be able to find my brother and bring him home?
We will do our best. Or try our best.
Or try.
Yeah.
Well, I know the ship that he was to purchase, and may have purchased already, I'm sure, is the Blue Gamble. And it was for sale in Deepwater.
Do you know who was selling it?
I don't, I'm sorry.
My fellow pirate, have you ever heard of this ship? Tell us what you know.
Have I? Should do a history check.
So, yes, you absolutely could. And then also, you say that just, pirates?
Yes.
You
Look at him!
Like she kind of looks at you, anew, right? It's like she's not really savvy in the ways of Vandians, but now she's looking at you with a whole different set of alarm.
Oh, well, think about it, girl. Who else but a pirate to recover a lost ship?
Perfect. Perfect, I tell you.
That makes a form of sense, I suppose.
Perfect sense. Do I need to do persuasion?
No.
Persuaded.
Right, she's sort of deer in the headlights right now. It's her first adventure hire, right? Adventure hire.
I only got a 10 on my history roll. So.
Yeah, this would be a really obscure ship. I mean, you expect that's true. Two masted sloop
But you know
out
deep
of deep
water.
water. You will, yeah.
I've been to many deep waters.
No, this deep water.
Oh,
Probably.
you're talking about deep water of Gelt?
No, is Deepwater a different city or
It's a
in
port district.
in
Kind of
the-
like if you said, "Hey, New York," to use that analogy. I'm like, "Oh, it's Soho." It's
So I know
okay.
deep water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know Deepwater. Deepwater is basically it is because Guild is kind of up
When did
on
they
a hill
leave?
and it goes down.
She
similar
made it
to
sound like
were-
they left like days ago.
Yeah, 6 days ago.
So
Wait,
it's
to
that's
go
a-
to the other, like
Well,
to basically
Guild
go
is
from
a giant
Manhattan
town.
to Brooklyn?
Yeah, basically down the hill and then to conduct business. He was supposed to be back many days ago.
Oh, I think he may be dead.
Eyes, ears.
We will find him.
No, sir. No, that is not true. He is my twin. We have a connection. I know that he has not left this world. He would not leave me.
All right, as the great orator once said, you find things you look for.
That's right, and I feel like that's a good sign.
Right, we
Because
will
you
look
will
for
be looking for my brother.
Exactly.
Ergo.
Yep.
She pulls the blue ribbon out. You see, it actually has a locket attached. It's actually quite a thing. And because you're engaging her the most, because you're a Geldy's outrider,
I am.
at least in
And I'm
veneer,
loud.
right?
I'm talking over everyone else.
Right, so
Yeah,
clearly you're the one.
sorry. Yeah.
She hands you this locket. She says, "I know that Alec is still alive. Please take this." She hands you this locket. My brother gave it to me on our last birthday. If you when you find him, show him this, and then he will know that I am with you, and you are here to help us. Please.
Fantastic. I will take it and I put it someplace. I put it in the pocket that you sewed me. You're welcome.
Oh, that's right.
See how helpful I am?
She sees it
I will
disappear
drop
the
it in this
pocket,
well-sewn pocket.
Right?
And my face beams.
All right, beams. She's like, "Please do not lose it. It's a family heirloom."
I will not lose it.
I want to pickpocket it.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna pickpocket it. Vala's like,
20.
yeah.
Can I roll perception to see if I notice
have
that?
a +8
That she's
to that.
pickpocketing?
Yeah.
Of course.
Cool. So I
Or
roll
would that be passive?
my
Well, 20's great.
my passive perception is 16. And I just rolled a 15.
Well, then you'd add. I think because you wouldn't know she was pickpocketing,
So
like
maybe-
unless like you wouldn't have been actively looking.
Right.
So your passive would be the score I would use in that case. So she rolled a 20. So actually, in this instance, like you kind of skip, but you don't actually see anything crazy going on.
Cool. I don't notice.
Now, because you're the target, I believe you would make an opposed perception roll
Okay.
to try to because you're actively being pilfered.
Okay. So passive.
Yes. No. You're you just roll
Actual
your
straight up
perception.
perception. And that's wisdom.
Yep.
22.
Oh, snap.
You've got an elf's hand in your pocket.
Quite
What's in your pockets?
Quite
is-
literally.
Boom! It's a
20.
medal.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a metal one.
Can you see the 20?
Ugh.
Uh-huh.
I would
wasting
like
our crits on inter-party conflict.
I know.
Talk to the elf. So,
You've got an elf's hand in your pocket, uninvited.
elf! What are you
I have a
doing?
name. My name is Idle, and I was testing you.
What were you testing me for?
To make sure you'd notice if someone tried to steal that from you.
That sounds brilliant! I knew there was a reason I picked you! This is fantastic! Look at how good we are! Small blue human.
I admit that was a very confusing but skillful display.
Alright, I take it and put it somewhere else!
This is incredible, but it's not getting my brother any
No,
closer.
let's go!
We're off.
All right, as you're taking your leave, you hear Balin say quietly to Vala, "And so you're sure these are adventurers?" And then Vala's like, yeah, they'll get it done.
We're
Don't worry.
adventure.
We are
Don't
now.
worry. Like, hand-picked for this, Balin. She's like, okay. And then you take your leave, or did you want to hang out?
No, let's go.
Standranil
To Brooklyn.
Let's
at
go
Deepwater.
to... Yeah.
Team Brooklyn.
We're
So
off.
I'm wondering if with my knowledge of the city, if I know anybody that could help us, gather some information about this blue gamble.
Oh, and I was just heading straight forward.
Well, actually, these both things align because actually you do, but you think probably like Deepwater is kind of a funky little area. I'm trying to avoid real world comparisons, like it's like Tequila, but I mean like it's actually well because I'm saying like they do their own thing right by the Duwamish. So it's like if you actually went there, like that little neighborhood. What?
The 4 people who actually live in Seattle who know what you're talking about.
Right.
Like 2 of them are here. 2 of them that have never been on Twitch before.
Right.
So it doesn't even
So
matter.
it doesn't even matter. It's an awesome little river. Anyway, so yeah, like you go there, it's kind of like a little hood, right? That people would actually know. So it would be better to start your streetwise investigations when you're actually there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great idea. So you make your way down, like switchbacks down. As you descend further, this is very much a working port. This is not one of the more high-end ports, and the ships and the people, all of that reflects this. And in fact, Deepwater is a lower port district of Gelt and home to about 2,000 people. There are 5 taverns in the small area, 2 of which have sleeping accommodations, in case Alric actually slept there. Most of the people are sailors or merchants, and most of the sailors are half to fully drunk most of the time. Several docks bustle with activity, and many boats of various sizes are moored there at any given time. And that's what you see. So it's a bustling little, and people are like housed when they're not doing their thing, or else boats are being offloaded.
At a glance, do I see any ships that I recognize?
No.
Okay.
As Baron the Wise would say, can't find things unless you're looking.
All right, so
Moves on.
who do I know that would be familiar with the ship sails down in this area that we can talk to?
Probably you could do the dock master would be one such person. You could also ask around just on the street, hey, what do you know? That's a little bit more of a grab bag. Mm-hmm. Or you could also, in these areas, everybody's got gossip in taverns. Right? So sailors drink and they talk.
On the way down, can I take off insignia?
Yeah, that's an interesting cause. We wonder if you do that. So you surreptitiously. It's the tabard, which is
stick it in the pack.
Yeah. All right.
I kiss
Undercover.
the
Right. Fold it very.
It's gonna be
gently.
really nice, clean corners.
Yes, that's good. Speaking of which, at some point
I
after
wrap
this,
the locket in it.
you're gonna have a tough decision to make because one can't be a Guildy's outreacher and an adventurer. So yes, you guys kind of alight at the board.
So I feel like I'm gonna approach the dock master then, and as I approach, I'm just gonna kind of what I know is his favorite tune, and try and get him in a good mood, and be my friendly urchin self from back in my younger days.
Right. You don't recognize this person from your past, but you recognize people like him. And you've certainly dwelled in areas like this. You've trafficked here and there, so you can strike up a conversation with him if that's what you're after, for sure. Yeah. Well, how can I help you? You got a lot of boats here.
Have you heard of one called the Blue Gamble getting sold here recently?
Sold? No. That thing is always for sale. Nobody ever buys it, though.
No one's come looking?
Not that I can remember, but it's somewhere over there if you want to take a look at it. Why? Are you interested? I'd sell you a better one. Any boat probably is better than that.
Who's the current keeper of that boat?
The current captain is one Captain Durkin.
And have you had any encounters with Alec? Is it Alec?
Yeah, Alec Adiz.
Yeah.
No, he's like draws a total blank. So, people come and go all the time down here, but boats sail in, sail out. It's not a great life, but it pays the bills.
All right. Thanks for your help.
You bet.
Yes, thank you, my fellow stinky dog hand. You've done great.
Yeah, I mean, does he smell like fish? I don't think so because he doesn't fish.
All right,
He's not.
Let's go straight to the boat.
Let's go talk.
let's go to the
Durkin.
boat.
All right.
Agreed.
With just a little bit of looking, like you jostle bustle, finally you get up there, and sure enough, just as plain as day, the Blue Gamble, which, by the way, more wordplay, Gambol, GOM, get it? Gamble, the Blue Gamble.
No.
Boarding about? If I had a boat, that's what I would call it.
I have a very low intelligence. I do not get the pun.
This might not be the pun party.
Yeah, so actually you see it. Like, there's people
for
people on the
puns.
ship, and there is
Yeah, I
actually
don't get
a
it.
for sale sign. Actually, right there on the side of the ship.
Is there a gangplank leading up to it? I'm walking onto that ship.
All right.
All right.
No permission to come aboard, I assume.
No. Pirates don't ask.
You're like you're not swinging over.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you come on and like someone hears your heavy foot falls as you come up, but I assume like are you all
Yes.
together as a party?
Follow my dragon friend.
Yes. Sorry. So yeah, you hear like, who the hell just came out of my ship without boarding permit? And he like walks up and sees first of all just the Vandian part of your chest, right? Before.
Surrender your ship. Sorry. Old habits.
Oh God. Oh.
Sorry, friend.
What do you want, Vandian?
We're looking for the boys who came by asking to purchase this fine vessel.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alec and Half-ear came asking around here about a week ago, looking to buy your ship.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Can I insight that?
Can I help with persuasion?
Do insight right now,
Okay.
or if you can justify a help, you gotta tell me what you're doing.
12 insight.
Okay. He's totally lying.
I'm gonna throw my axe at his feet.
Oh, this could go well,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Got to, because
Okay,
you know what
okay.
can happen.
Sure.
Meat night.
21.
Oh, that's a perfect.
Right between the legs.
Yeah, and maybe even just a little right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Remember that feeling you had of abject terror when you thought I was stealing your ship? Hold on to that feeling for the rest of this conversation. So, Alec and Half-ear, where might they be?
All right, this
Starting
is
an
intimidation.
intimidating drone behind him.
So let's do another exciting.
That's a 14 in
Me too.
intimidation.
I can,
All right.
can I help?
You can't help with this, but you have to tell me what you're doing.
I stand behind him.
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing? I'm booming.
This is going to be important.
Yeah.
If it's not intimidating.
Hype Matt, join in. I started an intimidating drone back here, trying to just get the ambiance.
Right?
Yeah.
So like
You heard
unsettling.
me over there.
Oh, that sounds like an insect droning. That's starting to help.
On top of the pirates,
Yeah.
you don't want the city guard, the outriders.
He'd likely say, "Where's your tavern?"
I was gonna go undercover and go easy with this, but you pushed it.
All right. It's also overwhelming. The buzzing noise and the tavern out of nowhere, the axe. He's like, all right. I get paid a little bit of money from the local crime gang down here. I just put a for sale sign out. When people ask me about the boat, I just point them in a direction to some people. That's all I do.
We are
okay?
going to ask you about the boat.
It's a nice boat. Why are you interested?
Point me in the direction.
Are you telling me you would like to purchase this boat?
I would love to purchase this boat.
Okay, that's where I'm supposed to tell you. Oh yes, it's Ullum Breck. You want to go to the gas steel,
I feel like I'm on a fetch quest.
and I'm gonna need 5 fish.
What kind?
I almost introduced a crafting system. But yes, so he's like, yeah, he's like, oh, he's talked to Ullum and Breck. I don't know anything else. Okay, I'm serious. I don't know anything else.
How big's their crew?
You know, it's small for this place. Probably not what you guys are used to up city, but it's like, maybe 12 parties. This describes it a little bit. This does not sound like an actual good operation. This sounds like pretty... I mean, if you were a rogue, which I'm not saying...
Yeah, if I knew anything about this kind of thing.
Right? You would definitely think this was amateur hour. Right? Yeah. But yeah, he's like, kind of describes, like, they're the terrors down here. The terrors of the pilings. They've got muscles.
That was a pun.
Yeah.
We got it. Yeah, I still don't get it. Yeah, I rolled a 3.
I'm not trying to clam up here, but
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a 1.
yeah, no kidding.
I know, really. It's a 1.
What if I
I don't get it.
So yes, that's
Let's head
what
out.
you hear.
All right,
You hear
all right.
that
I
they're
start
at
walking
the,
away.
Yep.
Do you start going away? All right.
I retrieve my axe.
Yeah, there's a Oh yes. Yeah, please.
I fold
take
up my tunic. Put it back in
Yeah.
the bag.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Keep that out
I
of
kiss
sight.
this up.
Oh, as we get off the, are we off the ship?
Yes.
I rip down the for sale sign.
Nice touch.
Oh, nice
yeah.
touch.
He's like,
Well done, my dragon friend. He will not be able to make another one of those
Yeah,
very soon.
do you know how much paper goes?
I could make one that's a lot nicer.
Oh, that's true. He's like, yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, scrimey. All right, so yes, so you guys go, and do you remember the name of the bar? It was
I did,
the,
yeah, Glum and Breck.
The yes, Allum and Breck at the gas deal.
Alum. My O looks like a G.
Yeah, that's
I'm not very smart.
let's see.
Who are you talking to?
Myself.
Oh.
I have to remind myself occasionally just how not smart I am.
All right, at the local gas deal, you go in. It's not much of a place, but it has like I guess a little bit of a rusty lantern theme, if you will, a little flotsam, a little jetsam, a little illumination. Here
Am
and
I
there.
gonna have to roll again?
Nope. It's
I
just
felt it
inside.
coming on.
It's like, hey,
Alright.
all right, welcome to the gas deal.
Yeah.
It kind of looks. You're not the typical clientele this person is used to.
Could I do like a perception check to be a general like
Oh,
who
yeah.
we should be like
I-
like is there a trap in here and like this kind of thing?
You can suss out social situation.
I definitely want
Perception.
a perception just to like who's positioned where
Yeah,
and
we
like
just
who
walk in
is
and
most
say, "We're trying to
dangerous.
buy
I don't know if that
this."
might be
Yeah.
inside.
So
or
while these
something
guys are
you said,
rolling, we're gonna buy the boat. What was the name of the boat?
The Blue Gamble.
The
Gamble.
Blue Gamble. We were told to come down here
Yep, to the blue.
to the Blue Gamble. This is the Blue Gamble.
Oh yeah, you're saying you want to buy the boat, and you're saying you're trying to suss the situation out.
Yeah.
So
I have an 18.
18. That's great. So
14 plus 4, 18.
all right, that's great.
Hey!
So when you suss the situation
We
out,
match.
is there something in particular information-wise you want to look for, or like you say general?
Definitely, like who's the most dangerous, and if this seems to be some kind of organized crime operation, like can I get a sense of like the hierarchy of the people who are here?
Surprisingly, perhaps, given the preamble, this looks like a lot of really down and out like drunks, like just wretched sailor types, and even the bartender's halfway to wretched drunk. Like it doesn't feel like a place that has any dangerous adversaries or necessarily any traps.
Sure. My personally was looking to know like is there a secret back room, like that kind of look. Like if something seems
Not that you can easily scan.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yes, boat.
So when you're saying that, the bartender is kind of like, you are an impressive lot, especially relative to his regulars. So he's like, right? Some don't even stir, even despite all of that. He's like, the Blue Gamble, why would you want to buy that?
We hear it comes with the finest of ambushes.
He's like, I would not know anything about that for sure. Any business that was ever transacted in here, I definitely would not know anything about that as well. In general, I don't know anything about anything.
Can you tell us some names that you don't know? Maybe locations you've never heard of.
I definitely never heard of Allum and Breck. He kind of looks sort of like a little bit more slyly than you at first to try to see like your reaction to that. He's like, and I definitely wouldn't have known about any shady dealings relative to that. Now he's drumming his hand nervously on the countertop.
How should we go about this?
Where's Allman Brick?
yes.
I don't know.
Insight roll.
I mean, it's obvious.
Obvious,
okay.
you gotta go. Here's the thing.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
I'm
persuade.
persuasion.
All right, is the tabard coming out or is it staying in?
What's that?
Is the tabard out or in? Tabard out, tabard in.
Yeah, I'm gonna just tab it out.
Bless you.
Like, we're gonna get down to brass tacks here. We really need some information. We need some information about
Allum and Breck.
Allum and Breck.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna just do because I would like to achieve this. So basically, and also you guys are doing great with the intimidation stuff. And these people are kind of out of your league or under your league, I guess the case would be. What you're able to like basically threaten and suss out of them is that Allum and Breck are two people in a trivial gang. They work a little scam where they basically bilk people out of money. And what happens is when people come down, and this guy kind of is haltingly, but he comes this much, that they rode off with some young dandies to purchase a boat. He doesn't know where the location is of the ultimate deal, but basically they haven't been back, and the local crime boss is really upset about that because Alman Breck should have been back. And as much as anything, what this bartender knows is that that's weird because usually they just bilk the people at knife point and then off they go, but the thieves aren't back, and now that guild is really upset.
We're gonna have to rescue these thieves.
All right. So the crime boss.
Mhm.
These.
Yeah, you don't know where the crime boss is. It sounds like the crime boss has been pretty pissed off because 2 of his crew haven't come back with the ill-gotten gains from the boat scam.
So we can either do that. He doesn't know what direction they went. He has no idea.
He does not.
All right.
That does feel like something you could divine.
All right.
Somewhere in this deep water port.
Is this something that tracking could potentially find?
Not unless you have the target or so. It'd be hard to track somebody out of the city into the thing, but you might be able to do some wilderness stuff when you're actually out of this area.
So then in that case would be to visit the crime boss next.
Yeah. I'm going to ask the barkeep how much gold he's got in the till.
Did you say gold?
Silver, coppers, whatever you've got.
Why? Am I being shaken down here?
Call it penance for all the shady
depends.
deals that you didn't know about.
He kind of looks around and finally he turns over a mug that's got a few coins in it and a few coppers spill out.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, that's it.
I
Very, very low prices.
scoop them up.
All right. That is all my earnings for a week, I want you to know.
Well, next time something nefarious is happening in your bar, you'll know about it.
You gotta make a margin these days. All right, I understand, I do. Okay, lesson learned.
So this crime boss.
The crime boss would be someone that'd be a little bit harder to track down, but if you're just looking for potentially where the gang does shady deals, that might be a little bit easier to do. So up to you. There's things like
I
you can
could
do
be bait.
investigations. You can also go around to some bars. So among other things, there's definitely you just read the gas deal. There's the Deep Blue, there's the Long Sailor, and there's Murtaugh's Spectacular. Are also bars down there. And then you're doing a little bit of a streetwise. You could probably maybe be able to track out where the deals.
That seems up your guys' alley.
Just give me some threads to potentially pursue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could go out and talk to these people.
Wait.
Not sure.
Hold on.
Well, I think we can probably do this.
Yeah, let's find my favorite deep water dive and see who we can talk to.
Well, your favorite deep water dive has to be Murtaugh's Spectacular.
Nice.
Because inside of the place is actually, one of the things is, it's a failed stage magician from the Street of Valor. So he has a bunch of props on the wall of sea monsters. They're not actually sea monsters. It's the heads of actually costumes of sea monsters. Murtaugh is the one who actually runs the bar. And do you know Murtaugh, Frunk? Have you crossed paths before?
I'm sure that we had a friendly relationship as I was a little young and getting harassed by everybody while he was getting drummed out of the Street of Valor.
All right, as people do occasionally. So you come in and he takes a moment to focus on you. But then when he finally sees who it is, he goes, "Ah, Frunk, my old friend. Are you here for an illusion or perhaps some libations of a more nefarious sort?"
I want to see an illusion.
You do?
Illusions all around.
Illusions all around! And he's like, "You, I believe, are drinking the finest Dandron Ale." And in fact, there is a mug of Dandron Ale right there in
Oh, I
front
can
of you.
even smell it. It's
It
amazing.
is amazing. Smell the libations of the gods.
I want to be
If I
taller.
can't drink this, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, what? Yes. I don't think you do. Oh, it's fine. It's some vitamin water. Next time.
I spit it
out. Actually, Dandron Ale, for the record, is really very good. This is probably not as good as Dandron Ale. But he's like, yes, what is that, Frunk? Behind your ear. And he pulls, and it's a gold piece, or it looks like a gold piece.
That's incredible!
It is delightful. He's like, no, but that is
I bet
mine.
I can do that.
That is mine. But yes, can you? Are you
Hold
a fellow illusionist?
Hold still. I'm
Yes.
not an illusionist per se.
Ah.
I'm gonna try and pull 2 gold pieces from behind his ear.
All right, do it. Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
That's really what we're talking about.
Yes!
Right.
So that's, it's really high. 25.
Oh, wow. That is like...
You pull 3 gold pieces from his ear!
And as she
You're like, holy shit!
As she does, I cast prestidigitation to do a little like party popper. Like,
Murtagh is delightful,
Yeah.
my magnificent friend. Where were you when I was being drummed out of the Street of Valor? I once performed there, you know. Well, I had a table in the back, but they reserved it for me every night.
That's
What
great.
can I do to help you, my
looking
friends?
for information on Olam and Breck. You know where they went?
Those near-to-well gangsters, was it? Well, unfortunately, crime does not run rampant through my wonderful stage facility, but I do know a thing or two about their business dealings. What do you want to know in particular?
Where do they usually do their deals?
Oh, yes. You're referring to a place I've heard about, a sea cave, just to the west of here, along the coast. I've heard that many people go there, and only a few return. I hope that you will not be among the disappearing act, my friend.
I got that one!
I like
That one was really straightforward.
Murtagh twizzles his moustache. He's very excited that somebody got one of his shirts. I should be on the Street of Valor still, my friend. What am I doing here? Anyways, can I interest you in anything
this
else?
place is better than the Street of Valor. You're the king.
Yes,
This
you are
is pretty-
fantastic.
Pretty wild.
You see, like, that really means something to him.
Yeah.
I drop the stolen coppers on his bar and say, well earned.
Oh, he's very happy about this.
Is there anyone else in this bar?
You know, not really. I mean, that's the thing is,
that's
it's
too
like,
bad.
he is a little light in this otherwise decrepit world.
We have a drink.
He's trying so... That's great. I hope you do.
We're there for him.
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. In fact, it's so awesome. Give yourselves all inspiration.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because that is such a delightful touch. And you actually spend just a little bit of time, cares of the world drift away. Murtagh tells you tall tales of his time as stage magicians. And you can share stories as you want about those kinds of things too. And it's just a nice, delightful little moment.
I have a lore question. How does the 3 gold she took out of his ear basically
No,
get us a bunch of free drinks?
Oh, well, I mean,
I
it
assume
was
that was actually
mine.
your gold.
Like, I'm
It was your
assuming
gold?
that
Okay,
I palmed it out of my
Cool.
pocket or something,
For
and
a
then
moment, I wasn't
there
sure if it
is.
was like, aha, I got the gold, and then we basically just like made 2 gold and half a silver or something. So we buy a drink.
They change!
It's like, yeah, we're so nice to this nice dude. He's down in his luck. And we're like, yeah. Cool. Okay, just checking.
So the time passes wonderfully. Like I said, it's very nice. If there's anything you want to do, otherwise you could continue on the way because you actually do have a pretty solid clue now, which is that
The sea cave.
there's a
The
sea
west.
cave, there's
We
an
need to
inlet.
sleep.
That's what I was going to ask. Could we count the time at the bar as a short rest so we can
Yeah.
spend hit dice?
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
I mean, this would be a very appropriate.
And
Can
you
I
add
up
your
my
con
lay on
and
hands?
restore that
Can I go
much
back
health.
up?
Short rest, I believe you can do that. Isn't short rest dials you back up?
It depends. Each ability is different. I'm not sure what lay on hands recovers on.
Let's see.
Long rest. So it replenishes when you take a long rest. So no.
Should we take a long rest?
That's 8 hours of sleep. Okay, I'd be worried about losing the trail on these guys.
Let's go.
We got your elves, though.
There'll be no laying on of hands.
We can get there ahead of time.
Let's not wound it.
So, you
As
do.
the great medical officer Bork said, if you don't get stabbed, you don't bleed.
That sounds like the medical officer on my pirate ship.
Well known.
He usually
If
makes
it's,
sense.
if it's not bleeding, don't stab it.
Right.
No, that's not right.
Right.
No.
But I
That's
see that as-
definitely backwards.
Yeah, it's very, if it's not stabbed, don't bleed
They all
it.
believed prevention was the best medicine.
So, Varys, you were asking about wilderness tracking scores. So, actually, this is a perfect opportunity because you do actually make your way out. And even though you're hugging the coast, still, there's sea caves at various elevations, and there's things that can be pushed in further and whatnot. So, as you're going, you kind of have a general sense of what you're looking for. So, as you cruise up the coast, just to make sure you don't miss it, you're going there unerringly, go ahead and give me a survival check. wisdom or survival if you've got it.
I do have survival, so
Six.
I roll a 1.
Oh my goodness!
Oh.
So you travel for a bit of time.
Which just
And
we go
then-
past it.
and then you see it. Oh crap! That looks like that could be Borsch on the horizon. Did they say west or east? I think we might have been going east, guys. We can just back it up. It hasn't been long. Hasn't been long.
What side does the sun rise on again, guys?
Yeah. It was.
That's the sun going down.
Oh
It's easy to get turned around down here. It really is. That's right in the
My
guidebook.
tiny wood elf friend, he's not used to these
Right.
open roads.
That's
Big
totally
city is
If there's not a
disorienting.
tree,
I
he
was
has
on-
no idea which direction he's going.
It's where the barnacles grow.
Why
I
would
don't
we
know.
even trust
I was
him? No one knows.
Right,
I
yeah.
thought we were on the other coast.
Yeah.
No,
See, the barnacles grow on the opposite side of where the moss grows.
If he was just a few inches taller, he could have seen.
seen the
What
sign
direction
that
we were
says inlet right there.
you-
That's okay though. You
Don't
can
roll
rally.
again, please.
that's what I'm sensitive
You
about.
can just turn the party around, probably surreptitiously, and move in the other direction.
All right,
No,
so
we've already called him out.
I'm pretty sure we're
Actually,
going.
as we were going, we're like, yeah, this isn't right,
I
man.
think we're going east.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, Druid, we're going.
I know this
is
place
east.
pretty well. As soon as we set out, I was like,
I've ridden these roads often. I was really confused why I saw
Play
no
out.
footprints along the way. I thought they were master
You're in that-
stealth.
Now
like-
you remember the cliffs are on your right. The cliffs are on your right.
And now everything's starting to make sense,
Yes.
guys. Everything's aligning.
Yes. So, all right. So you cruise back down. You go for a little bit of time. You can try again. Go ahead and try one more time. This is going to be.
Okay, so this time
22.
it's 22.
See, that's great.
Yeah,
So
very
that's
nailed
right.
it.
You have lost some time. So what? So it really actually means is that it's now much
Well,
later
also
in the
lost a
evening.
little faith here.
Possibly.
You had lost faith? There's
No,
so much for you to lose.
Possibly. But it's like really just it's some hours. You've lost hours.
Cool.
But as you cruise up,
I
you
had a
actually
good
one
night's
of the
sleep
things you
before the bed.
discover through your excellent rolling is that you actually see a crab nibbled body in a small tidal
Oh
pool.
no.
So,
Sorry, it's a crab body that's been nibbled,
No,
or it's a
it's
human body that's been.
It's a nipple
I've
body.
never
It's been
had those
crap.
tiny little. They're delicious.
it's fried up with some butter.
All right, everything's fine. No, it's little short crabs are like pincing away at someone who is lying
So,
half in, half out of a tidal pool.
It's Alec.
is it?
But
I mean, we have to like check.
I go and
The
check.
locket, by the way,
I'm-
that Balin gave you had a picture of them. That was probably quickly, but it's like, yeah. It's like, oh, and in
Okay,
fact,
that's a pretty.
I go since
Yeah.
I'm the paladin.
right,
I'm gonna go heal him.
right. So
Okay.
I got this.
the body, some good things. It's not bloated from the sun.
It's not quite bloated from the sun.
So you can definitely tell its features. It's not actually Alec. It's
Excellent.
someone else. And someone who is, in fact, just barely alive.
What the shit? Well, I only have one. I lay. I give him one hit point.
One hit point?
Yeah, sure. That's it for my laying of hands, fellas.
I'll keep you, my friend. Are you tabard in or tabard out?
Oh, we were on the road out.
Yeah. Well, you're outside of the. So you're
Yeah,
skirting
tabard
it.
out.
Tabard out.
Yeah, I'm rocking.
I'll keep you, outrider. Are you here to help?
Yes, we are.
Can I have some water, please?
Sure.
Oh, that's so much better. You have to help my friend, Alec. He took all of his money. The men, they are abducting him.
Where did they go?
They went that way to the sea cave. I lost sight of them.
How many?
2.
Oh, that's easy.
We'll be back.
Yeah. You might want to stay away from those tiny crabs.
Wait a
They
second.
were eating
Wait a second.
you.
Actually, there's one. Oh,
Yes.
please move that one away from my face. So very weak.
I would pick you up and move you over, but I'm also.
There's only so much I can do, baby.
It's only so much.
Pow, there's your hit point.
Yeah, and I just drop them down.
I suppose you get him like into some state of like he's like crawling his way back. He actually looks at the druid quickly. He goes, "Should I go this way or that way? I only have so much life left."
The wrong way.
Yeah. And he slowly crawls his way to the west
Oh,
and to
no.
his doom.
So, I was checking because I have animal handling, and I was curious what I could do with the crabs.
They're crabs! I mean, you can handle them without the spell. They're pretty small. If that's what you're...
I got it! Does anybody have any butter?
I'm gonna roll!
Oh, stand back, Fred! Stand back!
I just want to make sure I'm sending him with the crabs as guidance.
Yeah,
He's crawling off.
that's so sweet. You're like a little Pied Piper in reverse, right?
Go ahead. It's like the crabs will, if anything attacks you, the crabs will see.
If you think
That's all.
the best way to orient yourself, I think when you're going along the coast, is just ocean on the left,
Just go
ocean
back.
on the right.
No,
Which one you want to do?
I rolled as a joke, but honestly, it's go back the other way we came.
Right.
Like,
So, actually, you guys knowing which way to go, and half your first part, I mean, maybe you'll be okay, maybe you won't. We'll talk about that later. But it's like, but you've got to.
he's got some guardian crabs.
Yeah, and he's actually does have a hit point that's better in a little bit of water. So call that a good one. You see up ahead of you, you travel for like another 30 minutes, and you do actually find an inlet that the tide is coming in. So the sea cave, like water is starting to lap into it, but there's still plenty of entrance there. And this would appear to be the place that that had been described to you. Now, because it's taking a little bit of extra time, night is steadily falling. So illumination is dim as opposed to daylight.
Elf, half-elf,
half-orc.
half-orc.
Do you have night
I
vision?
cannot see.
Funny.
Yeah.
Dragons though at twilight there. Yeah, interesting.
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh my god.
But yes, I guess it's true. Like right now you're bedeviled. But regardless, like yes, you see the cave ahead. So, party, the faceless, how would you like to go about this?
I'm going to check my pocket for torches.
I have torches.
Okay.
But I was gonna say
I don't think we need them.
I was
don't
gonna
know
say
why I
that
have
it,
torches.
like
Somebody
Hold
help
my
this
hand.
guy.
right.
Right?
Grab onto
We,
the
the
belt.
rest of us, don't need them.
Oh, I was gonna say so. Rogue first as a stealthy in scout thing.
I can sneak in.
I was gonna take like
The guy
farther
who rushes
back.
can't see shit, so now is the time to sneak around.
Right.
All right.
I say that a little bit quieter than I normally say.
I'm grumbling, holding onto your shoulder, trying to follow along.
I was like, yeah. So you first. I was gonna go after because I have good perception. As another and I'm actively looking for traps and things like that.
I roll a 14 to be sneaky.
Alright, 14 to be sneaky. Thank you.
I would. I was gonna since it's dark, I can do Mask of the Wild and just be sneaky. So I'm just hidden.
What? Ah, that's so cool.
It's wood elf power.
He doesn't have much power.
Yeah.
He's got to take it where he can.
Right. Wait till next level. It's gonna be great.
He's going to turn into a bear.
I'm gonna have more legs. I'm excited.
More legs.
A multi-legged bear.
But fewer arms. It's a trade.
It's usually 1 for 1. It's a straight up swap. Alright.
So,
2 arms
So I want
for 2 extra legs.
yeah,
So
sneaky,
4.
what's that?
I'm doing a perception check.
Okay.
because it's
Oh,
Now,
that's a
and you're sitting
good
like
idea.
on the outside of the cave.
Or I was thinking that she was outside, and then what we can see in, and then just basically working our way to the.
So
cave.
when you work your way in, so outside you can't see anything. Before you start to work your way in, I would like to have a marching order, please. Which is who's going in first, second, third, fourth, fifth.
First.
First, okay.
I'm number 2.
You guys should be in the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I'm third.
Tied for fourth.
Fourth and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a single file.
Right.
You can tell me like you guys are sitting side by side, whatever you want to do. But otherwise,
I'm
it's-
holding
okay.
on to him for guidance.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's great.
Distinguished small flame. Cool.
Alrighty. So walking forward, idle, and actually you can see really well. Do you have dark vision?
I do
Yeah,
have
all of
dark
us
You have
vision.
dark vision. So you see really
Everyone
All of us
except
do. Everybody does except
Oh,
for
that's
us.
crazy. there's a someday purchase. So you're cruising into the cave, like you go. It seems it's a kind of smelly sea cave. There's nothing in particular that is of note. As you kind of come around a corner, you see that the cave opens up even greater. It smells bad in here, but it smells bad in the way that maybe a tidal cave could. Perhaps you do see like some, right? I mean, the ocean stinks. You see like some lanterns that could be lit that are just like hung around the place.
Are they lit?
So
They're
they're
off.
not.
Okay.
No. And you see like some things that are like crude tables made of like a large wooden spindle, things of that nature. A little bit of like netting here and there. So it's a place basically where some people have stayed for an amount of time, but it doesn't look like a long-term dwelling.
But it's dark. It's dark.
It's dark because now you've gone around the bend.
Right.
What little daylight remains is definitely not shining into the
Okay.
cave.
So all we see is value.
So, as you move forward, that stink really is getting pretty bad. But again, it's a tile
Does it still
game.
smell
It's
like
a tile.
fish?
Well, it's could be kelp, could be seaweed. It's hard to say. It could be dead little crabs.
My friends.
Right? Right? Maybe they came here just like, oh, we love you. But up ahead, Idle, please give me a perception check. Because also with your stealthy way.
Ooh.
Okay.
Come on, Tracy.
So that's a 6.
All right.
That's a solid 6.
A
Solid
solid
six.
6. So
it could be 5 worse.
It could be. Well, it could really
could
only
really
be
only
one
one.
worse because I have a +4.
So it's also it is dark. I've said like even with dark vision the value's different, right? So it's easy enough potentially to miss some of the finer details. So what ends up happening is that as you're coming up, you didn't actually see a figure that is actually sitting like this with its back to you, just maybe like 10 yards away. It's like, well, you see it. It appears to be shaking. And then it sort of resolves maybe into the sounds of quiet sobbing or muttering to itself. It's funny you say we can't see color in dark, can you?
No. And specifically, they call that out before.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you see a tattered, but once elegant coat, probably. And by tattered, I mean like age tattered, like recently shredded.
I mean, I don't actually see any of this. I'm assuming because I rolled
Well,
6.
actually, what I was doing with perception was to see if you got the drop on this person. And what
okay.
basically happened is you're both aware of each other at the
Okay.
same time. Is essentially
I
what
see, I
happened.
see.
So it's like, but even so, you hear yes.
Only aware of Tracy?
Well, that's at least yeah, but like it's aware that there's someone else in the cave.
The snap of the twig kind of moment.
Yeah, kind of,
Yeah.
right? Could be like a skitter of a rock, or just
Or
a fact that they're
click of a
not
crab.
that.
Crunch the crab.
Guys, be quiet! I told
Uh,
them to be quiet, sorry.
you hear very faintly, but obviously, I failed, betrayed. Anyone should see me like this. I cannot bear the shame. She can't.
Get yourself together, man!
But then, because you are up on, you see like the figure like sit up straight, began from behind, and you say, "But you will tell her, though. You would tell her, and you would hurt her if I let you leave." And as it turns around, you do see the features of Alec from the pendant, but hideously deformed now. A long tongue licks out of its mouth.
Whoa.
Like you see, like on each one of his fingers, talons have actually grown, and you see that its hair is like fallen off in places. And it's like, and you see in its eyes an unholy light of Dandranel, which, as you remember, the enslaver, patroness of undeath. And he just like turns, he's like, "If I let you leave." And you also perceive that behind that, a little ways, now that he's turned, are two smooshed bodies of what maybe once have thieves. And they're like there, and as he speaks, one of them twitches and like
So I can divine.
comes up, and it feels a terror.
I can divine sense.
Yeah, design sense is that very much this is a locus of Dendronel's power. This is a prank that she likes to ensnare the high races who have great regrets in their lives. So,
What's happening?
because this was a simultaneous encounter,
is it-
I'm just going to do a...
Are they undead?
We found him.
They're undead.
Oh, good.
They're undead. And so, Idle, you see... And in fairness, undead in the chords are pretty rare. Because throw them willy-nilly, like it's tragedy that creates them for reals. So this is a relatively terrifying moment for you guys. Even like it's like, holy shit, that's a person who is cursed with undeath. It removes you from the cycle.
And they have a new tongue!
They have a new tongue, and the tongue is freaking cool too. And the stench now also, when it's like...
It wasn't crab!
Yeah, it wasn't crab at all. It was Alec. All right, let's roll some initiative. That was cocked.
Okay.
Hold the
I go
mouse. Well, we don't know. We don't.
Bet you don't.
All right.
Well,
Okay.
that would be good for you.
Does anybody beat a 17?
I got a 18.
All right. Anybody beat an 18? All right. Frunk is going to be at the top of the order. How about a 15? All right. Oops, sorry. Hold on 1 quick second.
I mean, if we're all frozen in place, it's very thematically accurate.
Sorry, you said nobody beat a 15?
Nope.
We did say that.
Wow. Wow. Well, here we go. Does anybody beat a 10?
I do.
With?
13.
12.
All right. 13 for Jaflash, 12 for Idol. And rounding out the selection.
4.
6!
Told you.
Yes!
All right.
That's actually great.
All right.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I have a plan.
Good.
Yeah, that is.
Actually, I need to check if that's a safe idea.
What's that?
So when it's my turn, I was going to light a torch because I have torches in like an adventurer's
Somebody
pack,
needs to help this.
and I
poor
have
dragon
a
see.
and then Tinder, and I was like, I'm not the fighter guy. He's the fighter guy. I'm gonna light a torch and like try to be like, look, and like, but then I'm worried. Am I gonna blind everybody?
No, dark vision doesn't make
yeah.
you light sensitive.
Okay.
It does. It does. It's not like
I'm going to sneeze a bunch.
You know what's
Other
funny,
than that,
though?
would be good.
So in darkness, which this is darkness,
Pitch
black. I feel like there should be a negative modifier, but I can't find one. I just see light source.
And
I think if you don't have dark vision, they're functionally invisible.
Okay, so you know what's crazy? Then you would have heard all of that.
Yeah,
Oh, sweet, we found him.
I have no idea what's going on.
Like, hold on, what's the problem? Let's
Yeah.
grab his hand and get out of here.
Right around initiative 6, when that torch gets lit, I'm in for a surprise.
That sounds like Alex.
Yeah.
He's still alive. This is
Yeah.
great. This is going our way. All right. Well,
You have, there's disadvantage on the attack roll.
okay. That is excellent. Thank you.
When you attack a target you can't see, you have disadvantage on the attack
if
roll.
I could use
So the rest of
again,
us are sort of fine.
Yeah.
No, you guys would be fine,
Yeah,
but the
I'm gonna
disadvantage
try
is
to-
going to be.
I appreciate it.
yeah.
So, Frunk, you're at the top of the order.
Okay. 1 second.
Dear Diary, still
So-
playing D&D.
I'm going
I'm
to.
47 years old this year. And I am still playing D&D.
So I feel like this is a good resonant.
Don't you laugh at me!
With you.
Okay, don't you laugh with me!
So I'm gonna step forward and tell this guy to just hang here for a second.
Okay.
Because he's been holding on to get led through this. So
Yeah.
hang back. And I get out in
Hold
front.
your action at the bottom of the initiative order.
And I start like a "We will rock you" chant, basically, as I slowly walk out in front of these guys, pounding on the armor, and try and deliver my my bardic inspiration. I'll hand it to him again, just so that when the bottom of the order comes, he's got something to work with. And as I finish my song, I cast Thunder Wave to like punctuate.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Nice.
And just launch, get out clear of these guys and push forward into the wave of those guys.
Boom! Tell me what that does.
Okay. All right. So a wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you
Yeah, that works.
must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, they take 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away.
Wow, that is super spectacular. Sorry, what was the save again? I just heard 2d8. You had
Constitution save.
All right.
And the DC will be your spellcasting DC, which should be
Whatever you use
For
to
a-
spell. It's charisma. Bards are charisma.
yeah. So yours will be an 11.
Okay.
They do make their saves,
Okay. So then,
But
in that
still-
case, it's half as much damage,
but that's okay. So you
and
can
they
go-
don't get pushed. And any unsecured objects just get flung across the room.
Does this provide any illumination, or is it just the name, not
It's
like actual
just,
lightning?
It's just thunder.
It's the sound
yeah.
part, not the lightning part. Yeah.
Cool.
Actually, that is.
So-
You could be going. Thunder.
That's my half-orc bard stick.
Oh, all right, sorry. Don't want to step in any barns.
Well, it's only 2 damage, but
Really?
yeah.
Oh, but I did like
Because of
that
the
so
save.
much.
I mean, it's a nice clearing.
All right, so 2
They
points of
weren't ready
damage.
to rock.
So here's the deal. Remember one of the things I said last week that you could use your inspiration for was you could give it to a friend to bring them immediately up in the order to right after you.
Oh.
You don't have to, but I'm saying like that
He
way
can't see shit right now,
Yeah,
so.
please don't
Oh, right. Here you are, my blind friend. Grab.
It's your time to shine. Oh,
Yeah.
poor choice of words.
All right. Well, then, with that in mind, Alec is actually going to charge you, Idol, because you are the person that.
Watch
he
out for the
sees.
tongue.
Yeah.
It's really
Right,
creepy.
well-
That's nasty.
He does engage you right up close and personal. So everyone, first off, within 5 feet of Idol, which I think maybe would
I
only
don't
be
know
you,
if that's
Varys.
anyone. I don't know how far away.
5 feet
I-
means everybody that would be adjacent, and this is where the grids do sometimes help. I think he's savvy enough, because he's actually still an intelligent, that he would actually position himself to at least get 2 people with the stench. So, Idol and Varys, what I'm about to roll, please give me a DC 10 con check.
The 20.
Yay.
11.
17.
Okay, you both do. Okay, so you are not poisoned
It
by the
smells so
awful
bad.
fucking stench of this, but he does actually rake you with some claws. It's actually Idle, so that is going to be a hit. So we're going to come up to another DC 10 con save, because as he is, was that
7.
a 7 is not good enough for, so he comes and he rakes through you, and you feel just a cold soul poison, for want of a better thing, for 7 points of damage.
Oof.
But more critically, like the force of his unholy undeath basically leaches into you, and it just freezes you to the marrow, and you find that you can't move.
Oh shit.
So,
He didn't get pushed back 10 feet because he succeeded in the saving throw. So
Cool.
they succeeded in the save, but no push.
we had a chat. A person was checking the 10-foot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, because he was not that far away. He's like, all right, so that happens. And then, unfortunately, the ghoul, I think, can actually close with another member of the party. So we're going to say it's going to be you, Varys, because you're up there too, and you recently stenched. So the ghoul, like, now it moves a little bit slower, but still is able to close the distance with you and swipes out also with one of its claws.
Okie dokie.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. I'm dropping bombs tonight, folks. 22.
Let's see. So what am I rolling for?
So this is going to be another one of these. You're going to do a DC 10 con save. So you take your con mod.
Okay.
Let's roll the d20.
Roll a d20.
All right. So that was 12 with my con.
That is good enough. But also the ghoul's like and rips through you. The ghoul's actually a dumber version of this other thing.
Okay.
You take 6 points of damage.
Okay.
You also feel this like pulling. Oh my gosh, are elves immune to? They used to be. They
Well-
used to be.
Well, it
Quick,
depends on, it
everyone,
depends on what
to
it
the
is.
monster manual. Because,
I-
well, this is where 5e has changed some things. Friends at home, tell me.
Are elves
Elves?
immune
I
to
have-
what?
So what do you
So I have advantage
ghouls.
against charm
Yeah,
effects. but I-
148.
You have
Yeah.
advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't
Oh my
put you to
gosh.
sleep.
I'm going to tell you right now. I bet you that is true.
Yeah, the charmed one is true. I know that one for sure.
The target, okay. If the creature is other than an undead, they must succeed on a con save. Okay, they did take away. I thought, because I was obviously reading these today, I thought they took that immunity away from the elves. Yeah. The target is other than. Oh, this one's other than an elf. Okay, so ghouls doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Ghouls actually are elves or undead. Ghasts are not. Just now you know, and knowing is half the battle. But so you take the damage, but you don't feel that effect, or maybe you do, but you just laugh at it because your immortal, eternal being is like, no, Dandridel, not today, not today, Dandridel. Jaflash,
Yes,
some shit's hitting the fan.
it's the long sword.
It is the long sword. Yeah.
Just the closest one.
I'm gonna say that's gonna be Alec.
Yeah,
Right? Alec is, or what's left of Alec.
I go for the tongue. These
All
guys don't talk. Like, I can't talk them out of
I know.
being undead and evil.
So before, when you close with them, give me a DC 10 con save. as the noxious fumes.
6.
Is that total?
Yep.
Okay. So you're still able to attack, but like when you come in, like it is a gut-wrenching, terrible stench, and it actually you'll be at disadvantage when you make the next roll, which means roll 2 die, take the lowest one. That's your attack.
Okay.
For this turn. I know it's rough.
Could I inspiration and just roll 1 die?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, advantage and disadvantage cancel out.
Yeah. If that's what you want to do it. Why
No,
not?
I don't.
You can. No, you can. You could.
No, I'm not going
All
there.
right. Oh, that's great. That's an 18.
2.
Oh! All right, because your stomach is churning, clang, and you actually see sparks. That's one thing you see, Dragonborn. You actually see sparks off of the sword. So clearly something's going down.
Well, that's not right.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right. That's the client. We're supposed to rescue him. Stop trying to kill him. Idle. It's your turn. You can make what you can do is DC 10 con to like shake off. That will be your turn, but you at least can do it.
Yep. 5.
Parallel, but it's okay. So still just a little bit like from the field, but you're trying to rally. Varys,
All right.
you have a ghoul in front of you. You
I've-
have a paralyzed friend and a ghast off to the right.
So I have a question. I saw that I can take an action move of like taking a torch off of a wall, but would taking a torch from my pack and lighting that count as like a whole action, or is that something I could like
I think
do on the run real quick?
I know you can pull out a torch. Use an object other than a
'Cause-
magic item that requires your action for its use. So I think you can light the torch as your action, and you
Okay.
can move.
So while I'm in the bag, can I take another thing out?
Yeah.
Okay, because this is a stupid ghoul, right? It's just coming after me.
Well, right here, but yes.
So, but it's not like if I was to lay the trap in front of me and step back, does it walk towards the trap or does it go around the trap?
I don't know.
Like it's undead stupid, but it's
undead,
not. It's
maybe
not
it
the
would
other.
shuffle towards you. The bigger thing is it's going to be really hard for you to lay a trap down in the middle of a frenetic melee combat.
Just light a fire.
Yeah, a better use of a trap would be as like ambush ahead of them or
So it's
something.
not like a throw
and then
down
try to
crank.
It's like the thing is right
You're not
there.
Wile E. Coyote.
It's like,
Here's a black hole. We'll fall in it.
now that's just insulting. It says, well, I may be a ghoul.
Cool. So are ghouls
It's a
ghouls
tarp. It's a
hurt
tarp.
more by fire, or are they fun?
They could have vulnerability. Some undead do.
Does this one do?
I will say no more.
Or-
I know you don't know. Have you ever fought a ghoul before?
No, I haven't. So
You can't read the monster manual.
right, exactly.
Yes.
Varys has never heard of that book.
That's right. So you just
All right,
tell me.
so I'm pulling out the torch and I'm lighting that as like part of this because I want you to be able to see.
And that's critical.
Right. Now, is there a limit on how many torches I can light quickly? I'm sure I can only hold 2 and I can only be 2 or something.
I think you light one.
Okay, so I light one because it's very easy to light another. Was what I was thinking.
Yeah. If you had a bonus action, you could try to do that, or a reaction. But I don't think you do. So
does.
no. Lighting a torch is the thing.
So I
And
light
it's
it.
moist in the cave.
Gotcha. So I light the torch and I put that in front of me, so it's in the sand kind of thing, and so it's sort of as a wall a little bit in front of me, and then I want to bolt backwards. I want to run and get some distance between me and this thing. Because I want you to throw something at it.
All right.
Yeah, that's
well,
my plan as of 2 seconds
And I want to
ago.
get out of the way, because I've seen what happens.
Well, the light springs up.
Yep.
And actually, Diedrich, it is going to be your turn. And you see, holy crap, that's not what you expected, but maybe it kind of was based on the hissing.
I was
and
secretly hoping.
Yeah. Right. I'm so glad I get to kill
Call
you,
that
dude.
a tongue.
So basically, yes, as your best hopes have been realized,
Yep.
he is dead, and so is that other thing.
All right. Thank gods it's not a rescue mission. So I'm going to throw both of my axes at the one who was most illuminated, the one nearest the torch.
Right,
You are running away from.
I bolted away. I'm very
Okay,
quick.
that would be the ghoul.
Cool.
Okay. I'm not using... I guess I will... I'll use my Bardic Inspiration for the first attack, so this is not damage. So that's a 21 to hit.
The 21 hits.
Okay. So damage on that is... 9. And then
All right.
my second axe... Nope. Nope, I only threw one axe.
All right, you say coquettishly. It is, but it makes a great sound because I mean, these are
You forgot to take the wrap off the other one.
yeah, right. I mean, these are some soggy things.
It's not a Wiimote, man.
You know, in fact, had this been meat night, you could have eaten that little piece of ghoul, but unfortunately, it's not. Top of the order, Frunk. It's your turn.
Okay, so
Things are lit.
Where are people?
All right, so where are people? It's basically it's not too difficult of a combat scenario. There is Alec and there is Ghoul. The Ghoul, you see Diedrich, and you had just seen Varys scamper away. They were engaged with the Ghoul. Alec actually had just paralyzed, it looks like, Idle. And she looks like she's in a precarious spot because Alec is intelligent and a killer at this point, and he may decide to actually finish her off. And then behind you see, I guess, actually, Jaflash is next to Alec, kind of like retching, but he had just, so that's
Taking a whiff.
Alec, Varys, and then these folks.
Okay, so Alec is over there. These guys are near a ghoul. These are our combatants.
Idle is with Alec.
I thought there was a third guy for some
Varys, no, there's like
There's the
oh,
other crushed body.
Yeah, but
He
he's
didn't rise.
smashed up.
Okay.
He's smashed up.
Too much crushed.
Yeah, too much
Cool,
crush.
cool.
Also, too much CR.
Cool.
I just can't make that work. It's too deadly. All right.
All right, so I'm
Thank you, DM.
gonna whip out my long sword and start charging towards Alec, dragging it along the ground, making a loud scraping noise, trying to get his attention drawn away from those guys, and then just take a big swipe at his midsection.
All right, absolutely. If you wanted to, you can actually do some kind of like a performance of this way to like basically try to get his attention
Okay.
on you, which
Sure.
might be really super
Little
helpful.
performance that shit.
Yeah, a little showmanship.
That's
Look at me,
18.
look at me, look at me.
That's very well. All right, so like you do actually through the force of will, everything. Alex is like, and you see like his glowing eyes. He super hates you.
I'm just gonna shink some of those sparks right through his midsection
Nice.
with 10.
No! Darn it, that misses. That misses. All right, Frunk. However, Alec is in fact the full attention on you, so he goes to bite you. I'm going to assume a 16. Does that hit?
That hits.
I really didn't think this was going to be
Yes.
that. I know. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Day one, party dead.
Oh, yeah, 7 points of damage.
7? Okay.
Yeah. This is not good. I know.
But the party that comes to avenge us are going to be really cool.
Well, you guys are going to be.
We'll be resurrected.
The bright
Fight
side,
them,
you'll
so.
be the
Actually, it
vices.
just gets Zane and other folks in here that much quicker.
Yeah, I really expect you to be hitting a little bit more.
I did too.
However, yeah, he didn't. He bit you, so you don't have to worry about the paralysis.
Okay.
Is this the first time you've been within 5 feet of him? I think so.
Yeah.
So it's a DC 10 con.
Okay.
You got it. You got it.
That's a 9.
Okay. Well, you have disadvantage until next turn when you can try to shrug it off.
Okay.
But now you see why Jaflash is like, roll, never have the fish special before fighting guests.
Okay.
Next up, then is, oh boy, Alec. No, he just went. So then the ghoul. Oh my gosh, I know, I'm sweating bullets here, man. I thought this was... All right, so the ghoul is going to...
So I'm past him.
Yeah,
I was trying to get between you and the ghoul.
I'm so excited. That's a 4. You can see it. I'm not fudging rolls. So that's a 6. So the ghoul misses you.
Okay.
Perhaps like the scale, just you see its teeth turned on your scaly hide. And you breathe a sigh of relief.
The gods favor us this day.
No,
The battle is almost won.
That's right. The tides are turning.
None of them have been hit yet. The
Now you-
battle's almost over.
On this side of the room.
He did 9 damage to the ghoul.
Wave.
Yeah, I got him.
Oh, and the thunder wave did 2 damage
The
to
ghoul's
them.
got a chunk missing out of it, and it got thundered a little bit.
Which
little-
may have
just a
happened
wee bit of
earlier.
thunder.
That may not
That's
There's a
true. You
ring
see
in his
crab.
ears.
Yeah.
Those crabs are dynamite. That's where you really want to go. Jaflash, it's your turn. Now we've got the right. This is the bottom of the order. This is where just PC after PC after PC.
Long sword.
Okay, so-
the
I really don't know what
Are
to
you
show
trying to
this.
escape from the stench? Is that...
Alec.
Yes, actually, you can make a roll at the top. So give me another con to shrug off the poison. Really?
No.
It's a 50-50.
It's a 1.
Brother almighty.
no.
All right, well, The only thing I'm gonna slightly do is you said tabard out, right?
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about.
So you're like, it's like, oh, hold it in, Flash. Hold it in.
Oh no.
And you might just put this fish special from Murtaugh's
Sounds
all
great.
down the front of your tabard.
Oh,
But
no.
you're still in fighting form, my friend.
So swing.
Yeah. Oh, now there's a worse smell, is it? Ever have the shrimp?
6.
6.
Oh wait, no.
No,
8.
come on.
8.
8.
It's 8.
You need a 13.
Yep. That's right next to the 5.
Okay, that's right. All right. So you swing. Maybe partly because it's sort of distraught that you would muster.
Yeah, I missed.
Tabard, idle.
I assume I'm rolling.
Yeah.
To
Shrug
To
off the
save-
paralysis.
Save on
Huge.
paralysis.
just 10. All right?
Yeah, just
Grr.
plus your.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh, this is a grim day of
This
paralysis.
is very bad.
Yeah. All right, so
That would
I know
be a
you are
4.
still paralyzed.
A
Ferris.
5.
All right.
It's some damage would be good.
All right. So I
some
have
healing.
another.
My
Or some
tiny little elf friend.
I can't heal really anything. So what I'm curious about is if I am going to attack the ghoul, is the ghoul gonna see me as the threat or the big giant dragon?
At some
as the
point,
threat?
it's going to see everybody as a threat.
Okay.
Like for sure, you probably the best.
Technically,
tactical
we're not
thing-
really much of a threat.
Yeah, yeah, it depends on what you
There's
roll.
no threat going on.
I'm having a very hard time picking the danger here. No, but specifically, you should probably try to drop one of these foes, and
Okay.
probably the one that has the most damage on it.
All right. So I'm gonna go for the ghoul.
Yeah.
Because that seems. And
Go
then
for the Gould.
It's going for the gold. I'm not gonna light a torch or anything. I'm gonna go with scimitar.
Right, and there's a torch out. Yeah.
Right. I'm just hoping for the best here. So I roll, and it's not a great. It's a so that plus dexterity. So that's 8.
Oh gosh, you guys, that's a miss.
Uh,
That is.
Do I have
Yes.
any more action to run back?
Well, you haven't moved.
Oh,
Or
I
you
was
didn't move
behind
your
him.
full 30. You can do that. You can move a little bit, attack.
So
and
okay,
dodge
so I
back.
moved it, like, and then I ran back behind.
All right.
It's pretty
Very
attack now.
Try again in another 6
I
seconds.
never thought this would be a
So-
TPK.
Would this be an
Well, I'm
opportunity to do an inspiration for like a second swing or anything like that? Is that an option?
Yeah, remember you guys have inspirations.
Right.
That means you get to roll 2 dice instead of
So
to get
one.
advantage.
But yeah, but you already rolled your attack.
Oh, that's how that works.
But if you want to use it, you can roll again.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's-
do it,
So
do
and this
it.
gives me it's okay.
Yeah,
here
so
we
it's
go.
your second roll because you have
Cool.
inspiration. Now you expended it to make your second roll. And this one, it's going to be a crit.
No, it's worse.
Oh, how is this happening?
And then I run behind you.
Yep.
Don't leave.
All right, so this is my first time being
Dietrich,
within
this is
5
it.
feet of the ghoul. So
Okay.
do I have to roll for the,
The
poison?
ghoul or Alec?
The
No,
ghoul.
no, Alec is the one with the stench.
Okay, so I can swing at the ghoul, no problem.
Yeah.
Yes, you
All
can.
right, so I'm taking out my swinging axes, not my throwing axes.
Yeah, that would be the
All
time.
right, so first swing against the ghoul. I'm going to use inspiration for this.
Yes, let's do it.
So the higher one is a 17
That is a hit
for 4 damage.
for 4 damage. All right,
And then,
it's still up.
yep, bonus action for my second axe.
Ooh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's 5 damage.
All right,
and
it's,
a 24 to hit.
it has tons of chunks of ghoul have been taken out of it. It is barely standing, but it is still standing.
Come on!
Yeah, the 9 favor you. So we go back to the top of the order. Frunk.
Okay,
No effects are on you, right?
I'm stenched. So
Oh, all right. So you can try to shrug
Try
your
and get
stench
off the
off.
stench. 20.
Yeah.
Boom!
thank
20.
The
you.
thing
You
I'm
just
good at.
sprout Old Spice.
As an urchin, you've been around a lot of bad smells. This is nothing.
Right? So yeah, you're good. You never have to be stenched again.
Okay. I'm worried for us all failing miserably.
I'm good. I've just thrown up.
It's
Yeah.
It's okay.
Right,
It's
actually,
okay.
Alex, you only
It's just throw up.
he feels better now.
Not really. But there's no. It's just dry heaves from here on out. Let's go.
So once it's empty, it's
Right, yeah.
fine.
Stop talking about it. I'm gonna.
It's just a little bile. Come on.
And then even Alec.
Dietrich uses vomit breath.
So, as long as I guess if I've still got his attention, I'll just
You do.
rear back and do a full top-down, two-handed longsword
Boom.
drop, and see what happens. Okay, so that would be a 15.
That is a hit. That is a hit.
Okay.
That is a hit.
1d10, right?
Okay, a D10
Come on, yeah,
plus
big,
4.
big rolls here, big rolls.
So that's 10 damage
All right, 10 damage. Is that on Alec or the ghoul?
on Alec.
Yeah, all right, 10 damage. That takes a big chunk out of Alex. She's like, ah!
Can you get his tongue next time?
Yeah.
That thing is disgusting.
It is actually disgusting. Not my tongue. Now, actually, Alec, top of the order. So, you've survived the stench. Shrug that off. No problem there. He is going to try to claw you because he knows that that's where the power of Dandriel allows him to.
Is that a crit? That's a crit.
That's a crit.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
20.
So,
Goodbye.
this is a good time to review the rules for instant death in 5th edition. Should you drop in a single attack to negative your maximum hit points, you are so dead it is unrecoverable.
Woo!
Of course.
I know. So, let's review. Because I can roll low. We're going to do this out on the table for everybody because I don't want to own this.
Well, these are the
Yeah,
serious dice.
Yeah, these are the So, how many hit points do you have
I
now?
have 3 right now left.
Okay, and you
I
have a total
max
of?
of 10.
So 13.
So a 13 would murder me forever.
Oh, no. All right, but you know what? This is the heart. This is Dungeons & Dragons. This is Dungeons & Dragons.
Frunk.
So this is doubled, and then plus 3.
4,
8, 9,
11.
10, 11.
11.
You live! You're down. You're down.
Super duper down.
Take what we can get.
Oh my
and you're still
God.
alive from.
Holy shit.
And start rolling. That's what you get to do now, right?
But it should be said, because this is also, you're on the path of being cord strikers.
There's that. This was
Alec,
atonal.
the person you're supposed to rescue, cocks back, and you see those talons I was talking about earlier, and swipes cruelly down, and you all to the side at least, feel the hot spray of Frunk's blood. As it just and he drops and doesn't move and may not be breathing. It's hard to know.
But we see that it's a 4,
So,
so...
anybody on that side of Frunk is now bloody.
So throw up and blood.
So we'll talk about
Like
you
Cleaner cinnamon twist.
One of those is not coming out.
the ghoul. Come on, don't do anything. Strikes with a bite.
Yep.
On you, Dietrich, I
Yep.
believe. Okay, this is going to be. Yep. All right, here we go. 7 points of damage.
Okay. I've been hit for 7 points of damage 3 times.
I know, but that's my magical dice. I swear it's true. All right. The DM has gotten through his stressful period. Jaflash, you just watched Frunk
Get unstunk.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Unstunk and then
Do some damage.
Frunking.
Saving
I
throw.
don't
Saving
do
throw.
some Frunking
Constitution.
I don't like first level. Come on.
9.
Come on, man. Come on,
So
you can do this.
Do you want to use
Do you
your
have
inspiration?
inspiration?
I do.
I think now would be the time.
For swinging at him or for saving versus stench?
Well, that was your stench save?
Yeah.
No, because the stench is, that's disadvantage.
Yeah.
So that means you now would roll 2d20 and take the lowest of them.
Yeah.
Or you can expend your inspiration and just do a straight attack roll.
I'll do a straight attack roll.
Yeah.
Two-handed.
On which one?
Longsword on the one
Because
I'm
the
close
ghoul,
to.
if you hit the ghoul, it will die.
Yeah, but I'm
I
right by
got it.
Alec.
We'll get that. We'll get that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then yes, an Alec.
So I'm spending my inspiration.
Okay.
3.
Goodness gracious, can I suggest another die?
It rolled a 20 earlier when it did not matter.
Yeah, that's the rough part. Idle,
Yes.
this is the turn you move. I can feel it.
It had better be. Come on, dice. It's a
Yeah.
natural 20.
Oh, it's a natural 20!
Nat 20.
Then you know what? Not only do you shrug it off, but the move that you were ready to do, you can still take it!
Yes, perfect.
Well, that's only just slightly. No, that is what happens.
Do it.
because
Go
it's
for it.
Yes,
It's a 20.
yes. Oh, give me another 20, huh? Nope, that's a 4. We got greedy.
I know. What happened is he had moved.
And now you can take your normal attack. Perfect.
Sure
If only
can.
there was a trap set up there, then he would have.
The god
Right, but you
giveth
are
and the god
free,
taketh away.
free to attack. Varus.
Okay, so I'm ghouling again.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run in for another attack. Is there any way of like a flanking could help me at all? Like surprise the dude?
Yeah, if somebody's within 5, don't you roll with advantage if you have?
I think that's only the rogues.
Okay.
No,
only the
no,
rogues,
and
alright.
it doesn't give advantage.
Oh,
it
it
just
gives you-
gives me sneak attack.
Right.
All right. But that's okay. Still.
All right, so I'm scimitar again. Gonna go, and I'm going for a nice swing. I'm gonna be aiming for the legs. It's about my height anyway, so it works. So that's a 17.
All right,
plus,
that is a hit.
yeah,
Was that on the ghoul?
19, yeah.
Okay,
on
and that was on the
ghoul,
ghoul? All right, yeah.
And then I roll a d8 for actual damage.
Absolutely. Do it
And
for fun.
d8 is 1 plus 2, so 3.
That is okay because that's what you need. So you actually just like, because it's kind of a goopy ghoul at this point, and you just like separate its upper from its lower. It tests and spill out. You
Upper
drag
from
it
its
a little
lower,
bit again.
above the ankle.
It's fine. Nothing left. It's down. It's dropped.
Cool.
The ghoul is out of here.
All right, and then I still get behind you again.
Okay.
Dietrich.
All right.
Alec is the only one standing up anymore.
So I am going to use my cold breath on Alec so that I don't have to get close to him.
Yes.
So he makes so I feel like I'm going to vomit as I get a little close to him. I step back and instead ice comes out. So he has to make a DC 13 con save.
All right.
See, you make a con save.
He does make a con save.
Okay, then
Am
he
I
takes...
close enough to this that I have to also make one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have done it if I would have done
Okay.
that.
He's
So
pinpoint accuracy with that thing.
he takes
You swung and you missed earlier.
he takes half damage.
Right?
So he's going to take half of 9 rounded down, so 4.
Okay.
And then I'll use my bonus action to second wind to
Yep.
get some hit points back.
Yep.
I get back 5, so I'm almost fully healed. And I'm done.
All right. Frunk.
I am.
You need to,
dead.
but no, not
No,
dead.
you get
You
to-
can
I mean,
stabilize. Yeah.
I'm almost dead.
You're
Oh,
beating
so-
your
well,
part
actually, now what it is you
manually.
have 3. You make rolls and you get 3 fails. So actually, you're probably not going to die. Your party's going to stabilize.
You could even stabilize here.
That was a 5.
Okay, so that is a fail. Admittedly, I believe it's a 10.
Yeah.
It's straight 10.
So you fill them in there, and if you hit the max, of
Alec
either,
rolls
you
poorly,
die.
a 3.
Okay.
I'm just throwing the dice with this detachment at this point. I don't even want to get to know you guys anyway. But Alec misses, perhaps because like after that one killer blow, he even needs to reset a little bit. So he like swipes and misses you, Dietrich. And now it is the ghoul's dead. So Flash, this is it, man. This is where.
I got to roll for puking.
Oh, you're still stenched up.
I'm still stunned.
Okay.
I've yet to roll the de-stench. Wait, no.
You have not
I have
de-stenched.
not de-stenched.
Which is okay. You got this one.
No,
You got
I
it.
don't.
You got it.
Oh, yeah, de-stenched.
De-stenched.
Nice.
Yay!
18.
Take
Everybody-
that Twitch chat, which is currently full of a fail emote.
Oh my gosh. I know. It's yeah.
So I'm de-stenched.
You're de-stenched, man. Everybody breathes a little easier
Yeah.
now.
Long sword. 16.
That is a hit.
Yes.
Everything is turning.
Yes.
Everything is awesome.
1d10 plus 3.
Yes. Yes.
4.
4 is still good. 4 is still very good. Alec rages. Idle.
Yes!
You can move.
I'm gonna stab it!
Yes. Only Alec remains.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you something after this battle, by the way.
That sounds great.
That's a 16.
It'd be pretty
That is
funny
a
if
hit.
you didn't tell us anything after this.
Oh no, there's
Yeah.
one.
Silence. We're out.
It's good because this is how we get to know each other better. That was a total hit. I don't.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
Yes. And there's someone else within 5 feet of him, right? So
Yes.
I can get my sneak attack
Yes.
damage.
Oh yes. Oh yes. There's some ones.
Okay. 8 plus another 4, so 12.
12 is huge. He is barely standing. He's like, you opened up a big chunk of where his kidney would have been functioning. Varys.
Oh my god, is this my moment again?
Yes!
Well, that's crazy, but it might
Oh my
be.
gosh.
You scampering little wood elf.
Oh my god.
So don't roll the d12. That might ruin your moment. Roll the d20.
Roll a d12. You need a 13 or better. I don't know why I keep missing.
Okay, so I get excited. My eyes are lighting up.
This is it.
This is another moment. We can take this
Do it.
guy out. I'm panicky a little bit.
Eye of
but
the Wood Elf.
But I am excited. You would be playing Eye of the Wood Elf if you were alive.
Yes.
Alright, so I roll. I get a 15
That's
plus
a hit.
2.
Yes.
So,
17.
alright. And then I'm going to do the D8.
That's not the d8.
Damn it. That one.
That's the d8.
That is the d8.
Alright, I roll the D8. I do 5 plus 2, so that's 7.
You behead him.
Yes!
What's left of his raven haired head.
Can I add a couple flourishes in there?
No, we want to bring this. Oh wait, no, we don't want to bring it back to his poor sister.
Yeah, she probably.
Okay, and if
Right,
that was
like,
because
We
I
got to
was
start working on a good story.
We made an oath. We are bringing him back.
Yeah, no, that's
All right.
true. And more importantly, we're talking about yes.
could he be in more than one piece?
He is.
He might have to be.
Oh no, because I was gonna go in with a nice like Zorro slice through the head. So there's like a chop off the top, a slice on the side, and slice there.
Yeah.
And I leave the jaw.
Well, it's some pretty fancy sword work, but for the sake of discussion, sure, you can do it. It's
Your
always easy
what
when
alignment?
they're dead.
And you're 5'1". I carved the Z in his stomach
What else
because I'm not
is
very
like
tall.
that?
I was going to say, I think Varys is starting to creep a little. I'm just going to say, I'm an Outlander. No shit.
I'm trying to impress everybody.
Yeah, that's
It's a little much.
It's a little bit.
Coming
So,
from us.
I'm not used to this.
so, first off, thank you, Savage Beast, for actually hanging out with
Yeah,
us.
absolutely.
Neutral good. That is pretty cool.
I'm actually neutral good.
I would like to say something to the party because these are the things as DM that you will pay attention in the future. That was a tough battle, but you know what would have made it a hell of a lot easier? What's in your pocket?
The locket.
Yeah. When you find him, and you will, present it to him so that he will know that I am with you. And what was he saying? Like, no, I would hurt her, blah, blah.
He's a demon dude.
If you would have presented it, he would have been at disadvantage
I
the
would
entire
have.
combat.
I would have gone and shown him my holy.
No, you would have been
before I
like,
would have
stop!
shown him the locket.
You would have said something like, and I would say, like, you could have been like, stop, Alec! Beowulf, because he was still...
The tongue would have gone back in.
Yeah.
We needed to QA that fetch quest.
What?
Because most of your players failed that.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. It's true, but that was even...
That wasn't
that's
some
good.
great usability feedback.
Yeah.
So that is a thing, but also...
Next time I have a locket, I'll totally show it to people.
Well, or
There was a
just...
tutorial about the locket on screen the whole time.
I know it's funny when you
I
put
just
it...
skipped it. I held B down for a really long time.
When you put it in
whole
your
locket.
pocket, that's right. Did she say something like, no, hang on
You're
to
right,
that?
Savage Beast. It was your fault.
What's that?
Savage Beast
forgot
feeling
about
bad.
the
The locket!
Even Twitch chat
Right,
didn't even remember the fucking locket. Like Twitch chat's like, what the goddamn is he talking about?
Well, fortunately, you have lived.
Some of us.
Some of you. No, actually, because you can
We'll bring back
stabilize
just
Frunk.
the scalp
You can
because
stabilize
that's what I
Frunk,
did
and,
too.
I think, what is it, like,
Do
you
I
can do a
erase
little
that
lay on
failure now?
hands.
No, I used lay on
can do
hands on
a-
the crab,
oh my
dude.
God.
You can do a medicine check to stabilize.
Yep, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
I have a big medicine opportunity.
Big medicine is what
Yeah,
it's
I
called
actually
for here,
have
my
medicine.
friend.
And,
You and I both have medicine.
It's some big medicine. It's called for.
I don't know how to talk about these things yet. I haven't been with
You
people.
want to roll your medicine first?
Sure, 17 plus... 21. Yeah, 21 for me.
Shit.
21 medicine.
That's awesome.
Cool.
17.
So I know you can
You
stabilize.
just set up a hospital.
Put yourself at 1 hit point.
Fucking
You got a lot of people. So I know that
I'm
it's
Hawkeye.
it's the end of the stream as we promised. But so a couple of just quick good things for the good of the order, and then we can back up slightly if you want to. But just because I want to get this. So first off, because when you look, you actually find a chest that bears the Adris family crest on it. It's locked, but it is nothing for you to like. You practically look at it and it pops open. I'm just gonna tell you what's in it. You decide what you want to do. There's 600 gold pieces in loose coin, and then there's a whole bunch of things that are basically what look like family treasures, family heirlooms, like a fine set of pearl
I
hairpins.
put the locket back.
Yeah, you could, right? So I didn't
Covered
need this in the
puke
end.
and blood.
But that you
We're
can keep.
in an ocean cave. You can rinse it off.
Thing.
No.
And it all stinks anyways. But it was
crabs
stuff
are very
like that.
good at
Fine
dry
hilts,
cleaning.
silver sticks, rings, gold bands, necklaces, things of that nature, actually. Who was the person who got busted up the most? Would be you, wouldn't it be, Frunk? And Twol is your bard, correct?
Mine.
And Twol, who was yours?
Yeah, I think I was kind of living in the in-between where I think 12's where...
I thought you were Wuthin. Neutral good is Wuthin.
I ended up rolling a die and I got 12, and you're like, that's what 12 would like. So
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because neutral good is technically Wuthin, and chaotic good is technically
Yeah,
Twol.
I think that's where I live.
All right. The reason why I say
think
that,
I'm chaotic neutral, but I'm actually chaotic good.
Tyram.
Right, in your heart of
I
hearts.
think I'm Tyramid, but
so through oh, and also you find another total of maybe all that loose treasure is about 650 more gold pieces. So for the whether you want to keep the family fortune or not, you talk about later. But that was everything she had rest on. But more importantly, Alec actually has a ring that didn't seem to be doing him any good, but when you look at it, you realize it's very clearly magical, which is a big deal. Yeah, a big deal. So, you can find out more about that later, but that's for sure true. But the reason why I wanted to talk to you, Frunk, was because when you're like looking through everything, you actually see something that apparently nobody else had found, which is like a little a periapt or a pendant. And when you pick it up, you actually notice that it's the visage of Twol on it, on both sides. One side's frowning, one side's smiling. And when you like pick it up, it actually like spins around, you know how they do. And you actually see that as it does, it's like, and then all of a sudden it goes and winks at you. And then it stops on the smiling side.
You should bleed on it.
I puke.
Right, I put it in my pants. So anyways, it feels like something. It feels like something. There feels like an aura about it. And we can talk about what that is later. Or you can just chuck it in the water.
No, I'll pocket it. I'll take it with me.
All right. Well, then I'm just going to tell you what it is. It's a periaptive wound closure, which is a really neat thing that when you actually are lying at death's door, you actually just are at 0. You don't have to... Well, I mean, you won't bleed out. That's what it is. It's a pretty neat little thing.
Nice.
Timely.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be on the front lines getting hacked to pieces quite a bit.
Right.
So, sounds great.
And maybe that was what the wink was for. Haha, sorry. But Twol's the Reveler. He likes mischief.
I love it. I want to
Okay.
go all the way up and down the ladder over and over.
Over and over again. And the last thing is, again, so as you walk out of the cave, you definitely know that something has changed. You've really actually fought for your lives in this battle in a way that even the goblins honestly didn't. That was a bit of showmanship. Even on Meat Night, when you were actually amidst all the patrons, sure, it was a deadly bar brawl, but it was like things you faced before. But this was serious business. This was serious shit. And you actually faced, even in some distant way, directly the machinations of one of the evil bards, Standriel. All of those things are things that you've never dared before. As you go outside of the cave, you see it's a brilliant night. The stars are out and actually full moon, so that it's actually bathed in beautiful light. And you feel this like surge of like, yeah, we're going to do this. And you level up. You're all level 2.
More legs.
Mm-hmm. And that's where we'll pick it up next time.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
That was a cool thing. I think if you would have been ambulatory, this battle would have gone very different.
I don't know if I'd been rolling the same rolls,
It was crazy
would have
because
all
you
still been
hit
bad.
hard. Well, it's just so. The truth is, like when I was looking at that, I'm like, it was a tough battle, but I overthought, I guess, about the ribbon because I was even thinking like, wow, if he's just at disadvantage the whole battle, this isn't going to be that hard. Bad usability. You should have played tested that one for sure. But then also, yeah, it's just like it's the way the rolls drop. I was also thinking you might have been second level by now. But that's cool.
What should we have done?
Nothing. No, because that
started
was
more bar fights.
yeah. Sorry. about
Apparently,
No,
you were just going to farm
that was on
like
me.
drunken sailors.
that was on me.
What I've done
For
so far.
XP.
Is XP only given from violence, or can we get XP from...
I'm
Is XP only given
I don't
from violence?
XP. I don't do XP. I do milestones.
Gotcha.
Like literally, like when it feels right in the story.
Okay.
It's like
Dungeon
cool
World
things.
has a really good one where if you ever miss a roll,
Mhm.
you mark an XP.
Oh, that's interesting.
So basically,
Like
every
you learn
time
from mistakes.
yes,
Oh, that's
every
cool.
time you
That's
fail, you mark an XP, and it's not like 10,000 XP points. It's like it's your level plus some amount, and that some amount is the difficulty you want to do for your campaign.
Nice.
That's
so
cool.
every time
That's a
you
really smart idea.
fail, you're like, oh, I failed, but
there's
I
a
get
good
an
thing.
XP.
I like systems like
Yeah.
that. where
So it's just,
yeah.
I mean, and if you're not tracking XP, that could be something that, you know, in theory you could do. You could be like, oh, well,
Yeah.
I want these guys to get 4 or 5 this turn, so every time somebody fails,
Right.
you mark it, and it's like, you just got 5. You level up. You know, it's pretty cool stuff.
I can't remember if there was another system back in the day where you set your own goals. They were all story or achievement oriented, but then you would tell the DM when you thought that you'd actually achieved one. And so you're like, oh, what am I, like if you say like, oh, I want to achieve some level of glory, like every level, I have to check that box. What were they called? Ignobles. I I don't know why they were called that, but that's what they were called. But basically, you'd be like, "Hey DM, I think like I checked the noble box this time." So yeah, okay, sure. And when you finally did that, that's when you could level up.
Marvel Heroic does the same thing.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Where it's every character has their own XP track, which is based off basically playing that character well.
Yeah, same thing.
Oh, that's
Bonds,
awesome.
like again, Dungeon World does like at the end of session, you say, "Oh, I did this bond, or I did this very specific thing." And you're like, "Oh yeah, you can buy one for that."
That's
So
cool.
basically role playing.
We might get there. That's speaking of which, I know you guys gotta go. Last thing is, now that you're the Faceless, one of the things that I think is really neat from Hidden Blades that I would love to bring over is the idea of you have an adventuring band. We should have like some milestones that you can achieve somehow that unlock like party buffs.
Oh,
I think
leveling
that would
up
be
the
really
group.
neat. Yes, because this is super appropriate to that. Like as you gain notoriety, and one thought I had was maybe when you have inspiration, you could potentially, instead of using it, you could put it into the adventuring.
Like the band pool.
Yeah, basically.
Basically.
And so when you get enough of the things, you're like, oh, cool, we've unlocked, like what? Everybody could take a second wind at some part. I don't know. We'd have to figure that out.
The
but-
DMG has some good rules for like renown, like renown, like advantages when you go to a new place. They've already heard of you. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah, that might be pretty cool. Something like that. But I love the idea of having a party character sheet. I think that's just a really neat idea.
I mean,
All right, cool.
Sweet.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for
Chat.
watching.
thanks, Savage Beast, for tracking all the failure.
Well,
Thank you.
there was a bit of it but that's just how the dice roll.